Fox Sports.
We are Fox. We are Wisconsin.
Braun sends one to center field. Ryan Braun with a home run. There's a little line drive. That'll be a double for Ryan Braun.
Going back is Sano. It's off the wall.
Polanco, he bobbles it, and the throw's not in time. Braun goes the other way, and that will drop. Yet another team Ryan Braun has fared very well against in his career, the Minnesota Twins. Had a hard time getting him out last night. Reached all 4 plate appearances, including getting on an error. A couple of singles and a doubles in the opener of this 4-game home-and-home series with the Minnesota Twins. This game 2 and the final one here at Target Field in Minneapolis as the Brewers try to draw even after dropping a 1-run decision to Paul Molitor's group last night. Good evening from Minneapolis alongside Bill Schroeder. I'm Matt LePay. We'll hear from Sophia Minnaert in a couple of minutes. Well, Rock, we've talked about this with Ryan Braun. He's fared pretty well against just about everybody, and that includes interleague opponents. And the Minnesota Twins, especially the last couple of years, he's been nearly impossible to get out.
Yeah, and on this road trip, I mean, Tampa Bay only had 1 hit. He played in all 3 games, but that's the unusual part. The success part, not so unusual. I mean, this guy just hits. I mean, he had 3 hits in yesterday's ball game. And Ryan Braun understands his importance to this lineup. He knows he needs to be in there. He's not going to be able to play every day, but when he is in there and gets some continuity, there's nobody better in the game. He shoots the ball from line to line. You know, the more he sees a team in a pitching staff, the better he's going to do. But it is interesting. They don't face the Twins all that much, but he continues to hit well against them.
Brewers trying to get things on track offensively. Braun, he's going to get in gear, and maybe the same for Keon Broxton. We'll hear more about the Brewers center fielder from Sophia Minnaert as we get you ready for first pitch.
Milwaukee Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer. By Hupy and Abraham, voted best, rated best. Hupy and Abraham, tell them you mean business. And by Menards, save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs.
This is way back, and Keon Broxton has tied the game. Broxton sends one deep to left. There she goes.
A bomb from Keon Broxton on cue. Thank you very much.
Brewers center fielder Keon Broxton has provided some big moments for the crew last night, and his bat proved to be very productive here last night at Target Field against Irvin Santana. Hit his 15th home run of the season, 4th best on the team. We know the depth of this Brewers offense. Keon Broxton certainly a part of it. Good evening, everyone. Sophia Minert here at Target Field, and Broxton drove in 2 of the Brewers' 4 runs last night with a home run in the 3rd, and then followed it with an RBI double in the 4th. So Broxton was sent down to AAA Colorado Springs, spent a week there where he was hitting .385 with a home run, and the results are starting to come for Broxton now with some changes to his routine, and he feels that those results are starting to come now. You look at what Broxton has done in the last 6 games. It's a .316 average for him, a home run and 2 doubles. So the power and the extra base hits are starting to come back from Broxton. He spoke about those results here lately.
I can just tell by the way I'm taking pitches. I'm not really swinging at too many balls outside the zone. I feel like I'm controlling my bats for the most part. And that's what I've been trying to get back to, is just being able to do whatever I want in the box and not let the pitcher dictate what he wants me to do. Right now, I feel like I get myself out. I don't really feel overmatched or beat by anything, which is a good sign. So I'm just gonna keep continuing to work on that.
Broxton will try to follow it up with another strong night at the plate. And how about some run support for Matt Garza? We're getting ready for Game 2 of this series between the Brewers and the Twins. First pitch coming up next with Matt LePay and Bill Schroeder.
Shaw, back, gone! Home run number 20. A blast to left center field. Gone, a 3-run home run on an 0-2 pitch.
That's a lot of run production both teams have from their third baseman. Miguel Sano and Travis Shaw have combined for 49 homers and 146 RBIs. Sano back in the lineup for Molitor's team tonight. Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin, presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Let the games begin. Another beautiful night in Minneapolis. 81 degrees, a partly cloudy sky. Gorgeous evening for baseball as this home-and-home series continues. After tonight's matchup, both teams fly to Milwaukee for games 3 and 4 of the annual matchup between these two ball clubs as we get you ready for game number 2. And Craig Counsell, his team dropping a 1-run decision last night. A balk was the difference in the come-from-behind win for Minnesota. The Twins winning it 5-4. Counsell's team a game and a half behind the Cubs in the National League Central. Here's the Brewers batting order presented by Potawatomi. Domingo Santana again tonight at the top, followed by Ryan Braun and Travis Shaw. Jesus Aguilar hits cleanup, followed by Hernan Perez and Manny Pena. Orlando Arcia, Keon Broxton, and Jonathan Villar rounding out the Brewers batting order against Alberto Mejia, the starter for the Twins.
Yeah, left-hander bounced around a little bit between Minnesota and the minor leagues early in the season. This is his 3rd time up, 13th consecutive start for him. Got beat his last time out against the Texas Rangers. Went only 4 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs.
And we will see if tonight is the night the Brewers offense gets things back in order. Promising sign last night as Santana takes a strike to begin the game. The Brewers had a 3-run third, but added just 1 more run in the 4th and shut down the rest of the night as the bullpen unable to hold the lead, and the Twins for the 2nd straight game winning in comeback fashion.
Yeah, yet another 1-run game for the Brewers. They've been stacking them up lately.
Has been the case, trying to snap a little 2-game skid here, both 1-run losses. But yet Counsell's team just a game and a half back. The Cubs holding off the Giants in San Francisco last night. Game 2 of that series a little later on this evening. Talked about in the Brewers Live pregame show, they're still trying to, I mean, obviously you're looking for more offense anywhere in the lineup, but it has been a battle for Counsell to try to find an answer at the top of the order. So Santana gets his 2nd straight assignment here at the top of the order in the 5th time this year. And a little bloop, and that's a good start. There you go. Base hit to right as Santana reaches.
Yeah, and that's been one of the issues, finding a leadoff hitter. That has been a difficult thing for Craig Counsell. He's tried a lot of different guys. Tonight it's going to be Santana.
That'll bring Ryan Braun to the plate. Reached all 4 times last night. Doubled, was thrown out trying to stretch it to a triple. Also had a couple of singles. Reached on an error in the 3rd. Mentioned in the open that he has very healthy numbers against the Twins. In fact, the last couple of years is hitting better than .500 against the Twins. I figure the time is ripe for Braun to really get in a groove. Mentioned the numbers against the Twins. The Reds come in this weekend. He has very healthy numbers against Cincinnati.
And that really is where it all starts. Your veteran guys. I mean, this is when they have to really, step it up, pick up these younger guys when times are tough. Braun certainly did his part last night.
1-1 the count to Braun as he faces Alberto Mejia. Every Brewer in the lineup will be facing him for the first time. 24-year-old out of the Dominican Republic. Ball to strike to Braun, and that is slapped foul over at 3rd. Mentioned he fares well against the Twins in general. He likes hitting here at Target Field. Some very good numbers against the Twins.
Nice short stroke, going line to line. Tough to defend him, tough to pitch him. Yeah, 3-hit night last night, but the surprise was only 1 hit in Tampa, although he hit the ball pretty hard.
Yeah, he made good contact multiple times in Tampa, and this is hit well into left center field, but it hangs up there, and a near collision out there in left center, but it's Rosario making the catch as he and Buxton really brush into one another. First out of the night.
Yeah, let's check out the Menards Twins defense for tonight. You got Rosario, Buxton, and Kepler in the outfield. Miguel Sano at third base. He's committed only 7 errors. Not too bad over there. Not great range, but makes the plays. Polanco Dozier up the middle. Joe Mauer only 1 error on the season. Jason Castro back behind home plate.
Travis Shaw settles in. He had a couple of hits. Brewers had 8 hits last night. But the scoring stopped. Irvin Santana, the starter, and getting help from his bullpen. Matt Belisle getting his second save in as many days. They mix and match their closer's role since the trade of Brandon Kinsler to the Washington Nationals.
And Travis Shaw, the only lefty in Craig Counsell's batting order tonight against a left-handed Mejia. Mejia, not a hard thrower. His best pitch, they say, is his changeup. He is a big dude out there.
They're trying to get more efficiency from him. That's part of the storyline for Mejia, as he's ahead of the count, 2 strikes and nothing. He had a pretty good run prior to his last outing against the Rangers. Went through an 8-game stretch where his ERA was 2.68. But he does have trouble lasting much past the 5th inning more often than not. Pitch count gets up there. Ahead in the count now, but they say he falls behind in the count rather frequently. And a swing and a miss and a strikeout for Mejia. 2 away in the first.
Yeah, that's about where he tops out at about 94. Slider, he'll throw. More sliders than change-ups to lefties. They say his best pitch is his changeup, but he's a big guy, 6'3", 240 pounds. They say he has trouble getting off the mound, fielding his position. We'll see if the Brewers maybe try to get something going, maybe drop down some bunts.
2 men out with Santana, the runner at first. Jesus Aguilar at the plate. Aguilar hitless last night. A couple of strikeouts. Brewers getting a leadoff single from Santana, but a fly ball from Braun, strikeout from Shaw. And this has popped up. Will carry into the seats. Bouncing all over the place. Another good crowd here. This matchup. Good numbers here last night, 30,000 plus. Looks like more of the same tonight at Target Field.
Yeah, Chamber of Commerce Day here, 2 days in a row in Minneapolis. Beautiful weather. No humidity, bright sunshine.
No complaints. Ball a strike to Jesus Aguilar. Brewers have been very good this season at putting runs across in the first inning. Aguilar, first baseman tonight. You have Braun DHing. Eric Thames not in the lineup against the left-hander Mejia. A ball, 2 strikes to Aguilar. Mejia, a very methodical worker in the mound. We'll just get that out of the way right now. Get that Captain Obvious statement.
Yeah, well said. Very diplomatic. Very deliberate.
That is what works for him, and a check swing for Aguilar. Mejia originally signed with the Giants in 2011. Came over a couple of days before the trade deadline last year from the Giants for Eduardo Nunez. The thought was Mejia was on the brink of being big league ready. Appeared in 1 game last year, as Rock mentioned, up and down a bit this season. And the Giants at the time were looking for a little more depth. You got Nunez, wanted to get him be a part of their playoff run. Aguilar, a swing and a foul tip. And as it turned out, the Giants were eliminated, and this year having a terrible year, so they ended up moving Nunez to the Boston Red Sox, where he is raking.
Yeah, he's having a big year, right?
He has been huge for Boston since that trade. Mejia, one of those highly regarded prospects. Double-A mostly 2 years ago in the Giants organization. And again, the 1-2. Jesus hanging in.
And he throws a lot of off-speed pitches when he gets the 2 strikes. Sliders, change-ups. That was a change-up to Aguilar right there.
Good battle here is Aguilar holding tough. Still down to the count of ball 2 strikes. And one more time. And that is hit in the air to right field. Max Kepler going back at the wall, and he will make the catch.
Just missed it.
Gave it a good ride. It falls a little short as the Brewers get a leadoff single, and that's it. Matt Garza was good last week against the St. Louis Cardinals coming off the DL. Looking for a second good outing for the Brewers. He takes the mound at the bottom of the first. But that is it in the top of the first. Now the Twins get their first crack at it. Game 2 in this series. Paul Molitor's team with the win last night. Just 2.5 out in the wild card chase. Got a couple teams ahead of them, but still in the mix after making some moves of more of a seller's mode before the trade deadline. Here's the Twins batting order presented by Potawatomi. Brian Dozier at the top. Max Kepler hits second. Miguel Sano back in the lineup. Joe Mauer hits cleanup, followed by Grossman and Rosario, Buxton, Castro, and Jorge Polanco rounding out the Twins batting order, and that's the look that will face Matt Garza.
Yeah, Garza coming off a pretty good start against the Cardinals back at home. 5 2/3, 4 hits, 1 run is all. He picked up the win, making start number 6 career against the Twins. He's 2-2 with a 2.43 ERA against Minnesota.
That's the franchise that drafted Garza in the first round. Brian Dozier into the shift, and it gets right through Villar and Arcia, and a base hit for Brian Dozier to begin the bottom of the first.
Yeah, talking about threading a needle right there. Both of them pretty close. Not sure anybody would have had a play, but that one sneaks into left field. First pitch fastball up out over the plate. You can't roll it out there much better than that. Sneaks right into center field, actually.
So like the Brewers in the top half of this inning, the Twins get their leadoff man on, and here is Max Kepler. Came off the bench last night, starting in right field tonight. shows bunt and takes ball one. Part of that core group they believe will help take this Twins team back to prominence. 7 years since they have been in the playoffs. Lost 103 times last year. Much improved this season, and he goes the other way toward the line. Hernan Perez, long run, makes the catch.
Kind of fooled him initially. He went right to the line, then had to retreat back into the corner. Kepler gave that one a pretty good ride into left field. Let's check out the rest of the defense. Already talked about Arcia, VR, and Perez. Menard's defense, you got Broxton in center, Santana in right, Shaw, Arcia on the left, VR, Aguilar on the right. No Eric Thames tonight. And Manny Pena back behind home plate. It was Andrew Susac last night doing the catching.
And there he is, Jonathan VR, hitting 9th in the order for Council here this evening, but back in there. As Miguel Sano also back in there. He missed the last 3 games. Hit by a pitch in the left hand Friday night in their series with the Rangers. Try to attack Garza here as he fouls off the first pitch.
Yeah, this guy's got about as much power as anybody in the game. You don't want to let him get his arms extended. Huge numbers.
He has matched his home run total from a year ago and already 5 more RBIs than he had last season. All-star year for Sano. 0-1 pitch. Just foul at third.
And breaking down Garza's start last time out against the Cardinals. Very effective on the inside corner with the fastball and may have had his best curveball of the season. That was a good pitch for him last time out.
A lot has been made with how Garza has made the adjustment. The veteran doesn't throw as hard as he used to. That's generally how it works. Been better with the off-speed stuff. Put together a good outing against the Cardinals at Miller Park. 0-2 pitch. And did he check? No, he did not. Stu Shearwater, the first place umpire, says Sano offered, and that's out number 2.
Yeah, perfectly located breaking pitch down out of the strike zone, and Sano can't hold up. Missed 3 days, and that's the way you want to go after him. Slider off the plate. That was an easy call.
Two men out in the first. Now Garza will face Joe Mauer. Mauer 0 for 4 last night, but his next hit will be a significant one for this Twins franchise. That would move him into sole possession of third place all time for hits. At the moment, he is tied with Tony Oliva. 1,917 knocks for Mauer. 0-1.
I tell you, there's really not a better guy in all of baseball than Tony Oliva. He still hangs around the batting cage here at Target Field. There he is.
There he is.
Doing some radio. What a gracious man. He lives here in the Twin Cities.
Could play a little bit too for those of you not of age.
Yeah, just a bit. He could hit for sure.
The ball is strike to Mauer. And a ground ball, and VR diving, can't get it. Dozier on his way to third. And runners at the corners, with 2 men out.
Well, that's pretty much the kind of hitter Joe Mauer is these days. I mean, really never showed a lot of power except for 1 year. Last year in the Metrodome, 29 homers, and doing a good job staying on this two-seamer, going away from him and able to beat the shift. They had VR in the hole. Not a big run producer, average down a little bit. 1 more year on that deal here in Minnesota, the monster contract he signed.
Yeah, big 8-year deal. Very good defensive third baseman, but not the kind of power run production numbers you would expect from that position, but can still hit. Here's Robbie Grossman, who's one of the better hitters at just getting on base this season. He, like Maurer, will work the count as Garza works a strike on the edge. Grossman 0 for 3 with a walk last night. Walks a lot. Top 6 in the American League. And is 7th in on base percentage. Garza quickly ahead in the count.
Yep, 248 hitter. I guess if you're out there pitching, you got 7 homers, not a lot of home runs, 35 RBIs. I guess you got to throw this guy strikes and make him hit his way on, right?
Exactly. Yeah, it's interesting with that average, but the OBP is 376. 0-2 the count. And Dozier now dancing well off the bag at third. Shaw well off the bag.
Not as far as last night, though.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, last night Shaw was essentially a shortstop.
Yeah, where Arcee is right now. That's why the balk was called.
0-2 pitch.
And that can be problematic, you know. Third baseman that far away from the bag. I mean, that runner at third base can take as much as he wants. And it's not so much disruptive to the pitcher. I mean, it is, but even, you know, a ball in the dirt gets away from a catcher just a little bit. It could cost you a run as far off of the bag as he can get.
It was Eddie Rosario last night in that role, and Oliver Drake guilty of the balk, and that was the run that was the difference in the game. Curve from Garza misses away. Part of the dilemma with the shift, it takes away a lot of hits, but it can also open up opportunities.
Yeah, different ways that it can give you problems. And that big lead off of third base is one of them.
Dozier led off this inning with a single to left. Maurer advanced him with a 2-out single to right. And now Maurer is trying to get himself into a rundown, and the Brewers won't take the bait. Maurer gets second, as that was just
got to throw.
That was a mess. Yeah, you got to do something.
I mean, you guys, he stepped off. He didn't throw it. He would have had him.
He had every intention of just. It seemed like just trying to get hung up and then have Dozier break, and turns into a freebie.
Well documented and well known that Garza has issues throwing, but you got to throw that baseball. Give it to the infielder. Let him worry about the guy at third base, and you might get yourself out of the inning. Just can't give up bases like that.
So now they're at second and third. Ball 2 strikes to Grossman. Twins last night left a lot of traffic on the bags. It was a strange game. Grossman a swing and a miss, and Garza gets out of it here in the first inning. So a couple of hits, but Garza leaves him stranded as we complete one here at Target Field. Strikeout for Garza. Minnesota Twins draftees scoreless after 1.
Target Field, no score, and it's just like a regular backpack but cooler. The first 10,000 fans in attendance for the Brewers game against the Twins. That's this Thursday at 7 o'clock. We'll get a Brewers cooler backpack courtesy of Miller Lite. For tickets and details, visit Brewers.com.
Very nice. Second inning.
Load that up and take it to Camp Randall.
Absolutely. It's getting close, Rock.
Yeah,
getting
what?
close.
3 weeks.
Yeah, they're thereabouts. Matter of fact, the football team. This is Tuesday, right? Football team's going to practice in Milwaukee on Thursday.
Yeah.
I think some of the boys may be at the ballpark Thursday night. So
coming up.
Maybe they'll come up and say hi.
Say hi to you.
Say hi to. Say they don't care about me. They want to meet you.
Yeah, right.
Where's Rock? I'll be the guy taking the picture of you guys. Aaron Perez with a fly ball out to Byron Buxton in center, out number 1.
Where are they practicing in Milwaukee?
They're going to be at this Custer Field.
Okay.
Yeah. Tremendous facility from what I understand. So yeah, that's good. It's good to break camp, so to speak. Get away from Madison. Some Milwaukee area players in the roster. So college camps are a week longer this year. They don't have 2-a-days anymore. NCAA legislation. So it's a week longer camp. So you break it up, and why not?
No 2-a-days, but the one practice is probably twice as long. Right?
Yeah, exactly. That's right. Here's Pena turning on one into left field. Rosario turned around, and it goes off the wall. Pena on his way to second with a double, as he got all crossed up out there and left-handed Rosario, and a double.
Boy, very interesting route right there. I mean, Rosario turned himself around, wasn't even in the vicinity of where that baseball landed. Gave it a ride. Looked pretty good off the bat. Maybe got it down on the end a little bit, but look at this route by Rosario. Not even close. And Manny Pena in with a double. And Pena doubled last night in the 9th inning. So back-to-back at bats, 2 doubles.
And that pinch double gave the Crew an opportunity. Twins won the game despite committing 3 errors, and actually they were originally charged with a 4th on the Pena. It turned out to be a double. Originally it was a single plus an error, and then they made the correction after the game. But still, it was just a strange ball game. Twins were able to get out a 1-run winner. Here's Orlando Arcia. Went 0 for 4 last night.
It was kind of strange with the errors for the Twins. They don't commit many. They're one of the better defensive teams in all of baseball. They've been pretty solid out there in the field.
An area of improvement for this team. They had their ace Irvin Santana on the mound last night. And someone they think will develop into a very good pitcher out there tonight, Alberto Mejia. 1-1 the count to Arcia.
That's that changeup. The one thing about Mejia early on here in his career, he's had a difficult time here at Target Field. 11 starts here at home, 2-4, 520 earned run average. Much better on the road.
Yeah, command can be a significant issue for him. More than 4 walks per 9 innings. Not a big strikeout pitcher. That just hasn't really been the deal for this staff. 1-2 to Arcia. Brewers trying to, we talked about it a lot, get the offense going. The runners with scoring position numbers, it's been a major issue, and it's a tester tonight because Mejia has excelled on the mound. Teams have had a world of trouble delivering with runners in scoring position when he's been on the bump. 1-2 to Arcia.
I think one of the reasons is that good changeup. I mean, you know, hitters these days seem to really get all cranked up with men in scoring position, be a little over aggressive, and because he throws that changeup, it's such a good pitch for him. I think it's one of the reasons why that opponent batting average is only 202 in these situations. uses the hitter's aggressiveness to his benefit.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Arcia. Trying to pick up Pena, who doubled. They're battling at the plate here in these first couple of innings. Aguilar fought off some pitches to end the first and sent Kepler to the wall. Arcia a couple of home runs in the series against the Rays over the weekend. But he has given up 12 home runs this season over 17 starts. 2-2. That's in the air to center field. Shallow, long run, and even Buxton can't get there. Pena had to hold up. Now he'll advance to third. Runners at the corners with 1 out.
Yeah, tough play for Pena to read. And Dozier went back and deked Pena. He put the glove up as if he was going to catch it. Wasn't even close. Not that that would have mattered. There's that changeup. Arcia doing a good job getting a bat on it and just dumping it out there into center field. And a base hit. A good job making contact on a pretty good pitch.
Hit number 3 already for the Brewers. Big scoring chance right now. Runners at first and third with 1 out for Keon Broxton. And you get the sense that he is warming up at the plate again. A couple of hits last night, including a long home run. And he lays one down first base side. Mejia can't get it. Everybody's safe.
Yeah.
Pena scores and the Brewers take the lead.
That's just smart baseball from Broxton. Well, the word on Mejia, he's a big guy and he doesn't field his position all that well. So what does he do? He takes advantage of it and drops down a bunt. Not only does he drive in a run, but he gets a base hit. That's got to be a hit. I think even if Mejia picks it up, he's not going to beat Keon to the bag. That's just good baseball right there. Well done.
There you go. It's a hit for Broxton and RBI as Pena is in. And now Jonathan Villar at the plate. Gets the opportunity again to raise that batting average, especially from the right side of the plate. And there's a sharp ground ball to Polanco. Flips to Dozier for 1. Turns to Mauer for the double play. 6-4-3 ends the inning. But the Brewers get the first run of the night. 1 single from Broxton, scoring Pena 1-0. Bunt single for the first run of the night. 1-0 Brewers. Bottom of the second, and Second inning of work for Matt Garza, the former Minnesota Twin. Let's take you back. He was first-round selection, 25th overall, a couple of years with the Twins. His career started. A little velo back then.
Ran a little bit, isn't he?
Yeah.
The young Garza.
Little bit of velocity back in those days. And it's really just been the last couple of years where he has had to make the adjustment. The former Fresno State Bulldog. And we're seeing the effectiveness with more off-speed pitches. And
there aren't too many Nolan Ryans that really don't lose a lot of velocity as they get older. It's kind of the way it goes, right?
Exactly. That's
Mother Nature.
Yep.
Got to figure it out. You either figure it out or they send you packing. And I think Garza has been pretty good this year. There's that curveball. It's been a good pitch for him.
It's been interesting to watch. A veteran pitcher adjusts because of time, and when he's healthy, he's pitched pretty well, really, for this team this season. A 3.68 ERA. Swing and a miss there from Rosario. Garza has had 3 stints on the disabled list, most recently with the right leg strain. Began the year on the DL with a right groin strain, and then in between that spent some time in June on the DL with a chest contusion. You'll remember that collision he had with Jesus Aguilar as Rosario grounds one right into the shift, and Villar puts him away for out number 1.
Yeah, not too many people are going to win that collision with Villar, or I should say Aguilar. Of course, tonight's pitcher for the Twins might handle that pretty well.
Yeah, he is a big man, but yeah, if you collide with this guy, you're going to come in second.
Yeah. A distant second.
Exactly.
I mean, Garza bounced off him, and Aguilar barely knew he hit him.
You're right. And Garza's not a small guy.
No, he's not.
Gives you an idea of the size of Jesus Aguilar. Here's Byron Buxton. .5-5 record for Garza. And a 1-1 count to Buxton. 2 fleet-footed center fielders. Enjoy watching here in this 4-game series. Roxton using his wheel, saw an opportunity, took it, laid one down. RBI bunt single that scored Manny Pena.
Yeah, both of them big league ready defensively. They can both run. They're both of them just trying to find that consistency at the plate.
Yeah, you think of these two, and then this weekend the Brewers will play the Reds. Billy Hamilton, another center fielder who can fly. Find a way to bump up his batting average.
What do you think, Buxton or Billy Hamilton?
In a foot race?
Hamilton's still the fastest.
Well, I think I might take this guy here. Hamilton can fly.
Yeah, this guy's got the strides, doesn't he?
He does. He can absolutely fly. The second overall pick by Carlos Correa. 2-2 pitch. Was back in the 2012 draft. First rounder in his own right. Matt Garza 12 years ago. Beat the Twins at Target Field a couple of years ago. It was his only starts here at Target Field. A liner to his counterpart. Buxton flies out to Broxton for out number 2. He's going to stick with that look, Rock, and I guess I don't blame him. You know, he's getting a little production at the plate. Sox. So
yeah, they're sweet. Ball and glove logo on them. Craig Counsell has that look going. I think he's trying to shake things up a little bit. Brewers skipper. At least when they were out for the national anthem, that's what the look that Craig had. Not that baseball people are superstitious
Not
or
at
anything.
all. Take Rock's word for it. Counsell also was going with that look, or is going with that look. Here's Jason Castro, former Houston Astros. See, there you go.
What do you think?
Whatever it takes. Put some runs on the board, get a win.
It's something different. That's what he's trying to accomplish here. Shake it up a little bit. Not a whole lot a manager can do.
Talking to him before the game, he's been through the movie, 17 years as a player. He says, get out of it, they'll break through. Not a big believer. I asked him about, do guys start to press, and he says he's really not a big believer in that. That's just not something that is part of his vocabulary. No matter what you do, you're right back out here the next night. Opinions could vary maybe about that, but
yeah, player to player, but I think this is a pretty loose group.
It is. It's the one thing about it. And I think the one thing among others that has kept this team in the thick of it in a tough stretch offensively. That last road trip obviously was a bad one for this team. Losing 8 out of 10, but then they win a couple of series, beat the Cardinals 2 out of 3. Likewise, the Rays trying to draw even here with the Twins.
Throughout the season, the offense is going to pick up the pitching for stretches, and pitching picking up offense. That's kind of what it's been last 10 games. I mean, with the offense the way it's been, to be 5-5, not so bad. Could be a lot worse.
No doubt. And some pitching matchups that have been awfully difficult. Full count now to Castro. He has some pretty good numbers against Garza in a modest sample size. 5 for 12. That includes a couple of long balls. There you see it. Signed a 3-year deal in the offseason. Payoff pitch.
And 3 guys in the batting order against Garza that have had good success. Dozier, Joe Mauer, the base hit in the first inning, now 6 for 9 against Garza. But Garza's numbers against the Twins pretty good. 6 start, a 2.43 ERA.
He split his 4 decisions. Ready again with the 3-2 pitch to the Twins catcher. And a liner scooped on the backhand by Shaw, and that'll do it for the Twins as Garza puts it down in order. And we are through 2 at Target Field. Brewers with the early lead.
Milwaukee Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. And by Toyota. Let's go places.
Rock, that's going to be you Sunday, late afternoon, early evening on Lake Michigan, unless that's your boat. You got ripped off. That's going to be you right there. You're going to be, picture that as Lake Michigan. You're going to be relaxing.
Yeah. That actually might be Minnetonka. I'm not sure, but yeah, we got an off day Monday, right?
Yeah, you do. So picture yourself, imagine that as Lake Michigan, and that's going to be where you are, guaranteed, right? Trying to help you out.
Yeah, well, I got my fantasy camp reunion game on Monday, so maybe in the afternoon.
Afternoon, sure.
All part of the package, you know, for fantasy camp. Play a game on the field at Miller Park.
Yeah. Be awesome. I spoke with one of your fantasy campers recently. He is counting down the days.
Looking forward to it. 2008 reunion camp.
Domingo Santana leading off here in the third. Speaking of which, Rock, you need to check out that number and call it. I think the spots starting to fill up here a little bit, aren't they?
Yeah, we're at 70 already. And that 2008, I think a lot of folks are anxious to see those guys. You know, Bill Hall, Ben Sheets, Prince is coming. Prince Fielder, Eddie. He'll be there. He's worth the price of admission by himself.
Well, always, without a doubt. Birthday boy, as a matter of fact. Ed Cedar.
A lot of Brewer birthdays, huh?
Boy, there are. Santana, a strikeout victim to begin the third inning. Yes, maybe you too share a birthday with Ed Cedar. If you do, you also share it with senior advisor Doug Melvin, VP of scouting Ray Montgomery, and Barb Stark, baseball ops. So
she's been with the team since the very beginning. Happy birthday to one and all.
There we go. We got our birthday club taken care of here tonight. That's good. It's quite a gathering around Eddie to send him best wishes before the game. Here's Ryan Braun.
Man, it was amazing. Even people that didn't even know Eddie were coming up to wish him a happy birthday.
It's, you know, kind of America's host.
Yeah.
You have America's guest, you have America's host.
He's got the personality just that draws people to him.
He does. Can't you tell? He is locked in right now. See what Braun can do. 0-1 pitch. Chased one upstairs.
I think lately he's wondering why he hadn't had a lot of company over at third base.
Been a little bit lonely. He wants to start winding people around. Send him home, Eddie. 2 strikes and nothing to Braun. He will waste one. 24 years old from the Dominican Republic. Appeared in just one game with the big club last year after being traded from the Giants organization. Braun swings, sends one to center field. Back goes Byron Buxton, reaching up, can't get it. It bangs off the wall, and Buxton is shaken up. Braun rounding second, on his way to third. He'll have himself a triple as Buxton went hard into the wall in center field. Oh, Braun was on top of it, and he has himself a triple.
Boy, Buxton, he almost robbed him last night of a double. They did throw him out at third base, but Buxton covers a lot of ground. He got there, he crashed into that wall. He's up, looks like he's all right, but Ryan Braun stays hot. Another extra base hit. And Buxton turned around, and he probably should have had that actually, the way he got back there, but that would have been a tough catch. See the way he keeps his eye on it, jumps just off the end of the glove. So Bronny got a break that time with a triple.
He did. Boy, that speed of Buxton, though, just to get back there to be in position. Couldn't quite get himself turned around. Infield in here for the Twins as Travis Shaw steps in. Chance to add to his team leading RBI total.
Yeah, Twins have the infield in.
Here in the 3rd inning, and now Ed Cedar has some company. Hopefully not for long. See if Shaw can pick him up.
Yeah, just have to ask, right? So somebody's standing over there.
Birthday party at 3rd for Eddie. A ball to strike to Travis Shaw. Looking for RBI number 76. And that's way inside as he's able to hold up. They do appeal to see if he offered or not. Crew chief Bill Welke says no.
Yeah, for a minute I thought it hit him. For another minute I thought it hit his bat. Didn't hit anything. And Travis able to hold up. Goes down. And he's got the count in his favor.
75 RBIs for Shaw, just outside the top 10 in the National League. But well ahead of the pack on this Brewers ball club. The 2-1. Able to check again.
A pretty good pitch from Mejia. Looked like it might have had a piece of the outside corner. Didn't get the call. Now Travis really in the driver's seat at 3-1.
Brewers pushed a run across in the 2nd inning. Chance to score here in inning number 3. 3-1 to Shaw. Cut there and a miss.
Taking with a slider, a backup job up and in. You see Shaw double clutch and misses.
Full count to the Brewers' 3rd baseman. Here ready with the payoff. And this is hit in the air, shallow left center. Rosario will call for it, and there's nothing Braun can do about it. Out number 2. It's up to Aguilar to extend the inning. He sent Max Kepler to the wall in right field. Had a good at bat, fouling off some pitches, staying alive, and gave it a good ride, but Kepler was able to haul it in. 39 RBIs for Aguilar. I mentioned Mejia has very good numbers. Runners in scoring position. Teams coming in hitting just .202 against him.
And Brewers have 2 hits in those spots tonight. One of them a bunt base hit from Broxton.
And the RBI bunt single.
Drove in a run, and then Arce had a bloop into center field.
Trying to get that turned around, both against Mejia and more importantly, just get that overall number up from the Brewers' perspective. Brewers trying to work the counts, get that pitch count up if they can. Aguilar's turn to pick up Braun at a 1-out triple. Shaw flied out to shallow left field. 3-0 to Aguilar.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Aguilar get a green light here on 3-0. Why not, right? Get a fastball down the middle. They're going to walk him, though.
Yeah, they won't give him that chance. They'll go ahead and issue the pass.
I think Paul Molitor thinking the same thing. You don't want to throw a cookie down the middle and have him knock one out of here.
Hall of Famer instead says, let's see what Hernan Perez can do.
Start with a fresh count.
Get a fly ball to Buxton, his first time up. So again, runners at the corners for Milwaukee. This time Braun at third, Aguilar over at first. They say this is how it can roll with Mejia. I mentioned he is a slow worker and he needs a lot of pitches to get through innings. And laboring here in the third.
5 in a row out of the zone.
A couple of outings ago, or 3 outings ago for Mejia against the Tigers, he went 4 1/3, and he needed 96 pitches to get through a 4 1/3. That was his shortest outing. That was back on July 23rd, his shortest outing in about 5 weeks. Lasted just, but then he had an even shorter one against the Rangers, just 4 innings of work. 7 hits and gave up 4 runs. 2-1 now to Perez.
It just lacks that command with the off-speed stuff, and you can see a little bit tonight. The slider's been inconsistent, changeup's been off the plate, and he relies heavily on those 2 pitches. When he doesn't throw those for strikes, that's when the pitch counts get high.
52nd pitch of the night coming up for Mejia. 2-1 to Perez. Carry out a play.
You can see the effect of the changeup, just the idea that he might throw it. He's been able to get these fastballs by Perez, and a lot of these Brewers hitters, for that matter, not the swing and miss, but a little bit behind it, and just fouling him off. We're not talking about big velocity either, 93, 94.
That's about it. 2-2 the count to Perez. And the runner's going, and Perez is swing and a miss, and a couple of strikeouts here in the inning for Alberto Mejia. Brewers strand a pair. They lead 1-0. Field 1-0 Brewers lead the Minnesota Twins. Crew stranding a pair in the top half of this inning. Inning number 3 of work for Matt Garza tonight. And he will face Jorge Polanco, who is turning things around, to say the least. In July, in the month of July, Polanco went 4 for 51. 4 hits the entire month. He had 4 hits last night.
Yeah, right. Bottom of the order for the Twins last night did all the damage. 8 and 9 on base just about every time up.
Comes into this game with a 5-game hitting streak. Modest, but turning things around, hitting just .227 on the year. Curve from Garza.
Yeah, he was 4 for 4. Castro, the number 8 hitter. A base hit, 2 walks, and hit by a pitch. So these guys reached base safely 8 times.
Yeah, he never could get him out.
Bottom of the order.
See the numbers for Polanco down considerably from a year ago. Curve from Garza is lined into right field. That'll drop in front of Santana. Hit number 3 for the Twins.
Hey, there's a big weekend on tap at Miller Park as the Reds come to town this Friday through Sunday. The series gets started with a free performance t-shirt for the first 20,000 fans at Friday night's opener, courtesy of 94.5 KTI Country. Visit Brewers.com for tickets.
Homestand after the 2 games with the Twins. Brewers a couple of series back in the Central Division. The Reds and then the Pirates coming to Miller Park. Garza facing Brian Dozier. Dozier rolled one through the shift into left field in the first inning. Three hitters in this Twins order with albeit modest sample sizes, but they have had a fair amount of success here against Garza. Dozier is one of them. This is popped up, and there will be no play for Aguilar. Again, a 20 home run season for Dozier. He's done that 4 straight years. He exploded last year in the second half with the 28 home runs after the All-Star break.
Yeah, right. He got off to a slow start. Slow month of April. And turned things around quickly.
He ended up driving in 99 on the year to go with 42 home runs. Garza ahead in the count, 2 strikes and nothing, and a double play chance here. Arcia the scoop to Villar, the turn to Aguilar, and a wild throw, and that's going to go into the camera well.
Yeah, you got to turn 2 on that. That's just a bad mistake by Jonathan Villar. When you talk about room service double play, easy. Took his time on the throw, just dropped the arm, and that wasn't even close to first base. That'll be an error. Good curveball, and Dozier running down the line thinking I just hit into a double play, and he should have. Just a bad throw by Jonathan Villar. An error allowing Dozier to get to second.
Fielder's choice, then E4. Well, there's the first error of the night. Dozier in scoring position. Max Kepler at the plate.
I tell you, when you're not hitting, you better make plays like that. I mean, you got to justify being in the lineup somehow, and you make errors when you're not hitting. That's a surefire way you're not going to see the lineup.
Yeah, that had double play written all over it. We'll see if Garza can work through this. 1 out, 1 on here in the bottom of the 3rd. Kepler last year went deep 14 times. Just enough pop to show promise that he can do some damage at this level. Drove in 44 runs. And he takes his time settling back in. 2-0 pitch.
And check out where Miguel Sano is sitting in the on deck circle, if you want to call it that. That's one of these things where maybe if the umpire tells him to move, he'll pull a Beltre, just move the on deck circle over. He is right behind home plate.
He really is. That is and there's, as we mentioned this last night, and you can tell there's just not a whole lot of room anyway behind the plate. Gotta wonder how distracting, if at all, that is for Garza. You gotta think it is a little bit. 3-0 the count to Kepler.
Well, somebody for the Brewers is going to have to say something about it. The umpire's not going to do anything about it until somebody complains. If it is in fact an issue for anybody.
Yeah, I guess not.
Just commenting that's where he is.
Who needs the on deck circle? 3-1 pitch. That is driven to right field, deep and gone. Max Kepler jumps on it. And the Twins take the lead. Into the flowers it goes.
Falling behind in the count. 3-1 fastball in. Kepler able to get the barrel of the bat on it. Knock it out of here. Yep, 93 on the inside corner. Does a good job keeping it fair and hit it hard.
Finally get it out of there. Here's Miguel Sano. Sano struck out in the first. Mentioned the numbers that Sano putting up at the plate. They moved him back to third. They tried him in right field last year, and to say the least, that did not go well. Another one of those prized prospects. Needed Tommy John surgery. His 2014 season was wiped out. 2 strikes and nothing to Sano.
Well, he's figured it out at the plate. He strikes out an awful lot, but I mean, he's got the run production to back it up. 25 homers. You talked about the RBIs, and showed pretty well in the home run contest in the All-Star game.
Yeah, he did. A ball, 2 strikes. Here it comes from Garza. That strikeout total is sky high for Sano. It's about 35% of the time he punches out. But they take the trade. He has driven in 71 to go along with 25 homers. The 2-2. And Garza gets him again. Second time tonight that Sano has struck out.
Man, both times on the slider. Well located. Down and away. It's exactly where he wanted it. That's a good slider from Garza going straight down.
Two away in the third. Garza now will face Joe Mauer. A 6-time All-Star, singled to right in the first. At his peak, he was about as good as it gets in this game. 3 Gold Gloves behind the plate.
Yeah, MVP, batting champion. That combination of he and Justin Morneau was about as good as it got in the American League. 2 tough outs. They were together for a while.
Suffered a concussion. Hasn't caught in 4 years. I say he's turned into a very good defensive first baseman. But those numbers have dropped significantly at the plate. And this is, I mentioned a batting champion. He's done that 3 times in his career. most recently in 09. His last All-Star appearance came back in 2013. And since then, he's been in the 260, 275 range for a batting average.
And not what you expect from a guy that is over there at first base. That's more of a big run producing spot on the field. You know, your corner outfielders, corner infielders, and especially with that monster contract.
8 years, $184 million. He is a Minnesota guy. Creighton-Durham Hall High School in St. Paul. It's a very, very highly regarded high school for the athletics programs there. Again, the 2-2 pitch. Tries to check it, and he does. Bill Welke, the crew chief, third base umpire. Twins getting on the board here in the third. A 2-run homer from Max Kepler. Stars are trying to finish off Joe Mauer and in this third inning. Again, the payoff pitch. Hit in the air, left field. Back goes Perez, and he has room at the track. Out number 3. And over. Kepler, a 2-run bomb, gives Minnesota a 1-run lead.
A 2-1 lead, and scoops from the clubhouse brought to you by Car Soup. Craig Counsell had some injury updates for us this afternoon. A good step forward for Stephen Vogt as he caught his first bullpen this afternoon for Zach Davies. Vogt told me he got through that session pain-free, and so Counsell said they'll just continue to build on the catching activities for Vogt. He is getting closer to stepping into the batting cage, starting to work on the hitting as well, but he said because of the nature of the job, obviously, the catching position and it being a knee injury for him with the sprained MCL, he said we're going to need to get Stephen through a period of time where he is pain-free doing both of those activities, but they're still hopeful that he could join them on the next road trip on the West Coast. And good news for Chase Anderson as well. He made his first minor league rehab start with the Appleton Timber Rattlers. It was 3 1/3 for Anderson, 2 hits, 1 run, a walk, and 3 strikeouts for him. It was 47 pitches, 31 of those for strikes. Anderson gave up a leadoff double in the first, gave up the run in the first, but a good outing from there after that.
All right, Sophia, thank you very much. Manny Pena leading things off, and worth bringing up again, Rock, with start with Anderson first. It's going to maybe take a little time to get that feel back, get the rhythm back. It's been a while since we've seen him on the mound.
He's not like a power pitcher, right? Just rear back and let her fly. I mean, he's got 4 pitches that he needs to command, and he was doing such a good job of that before he got hurt. I mean, finding the corners down in the strike zone, that touch and field takes a little bit longer to recover from. And talking about Vogt, I mean, if he's an outfielder, he might be back a lot quicker than he would you know, being a catcher, I mean, that squatting position, that's not easy on the knees.
He was somebody who made a good early impression. Manny Pena continues to make a season-long good impression as he singles to left, his second hit of the game.
And Jet Bandy on the disabled list with those that cracked rib. He played with that, you know, for a couple of days, and talked to him around the batting cage. Really not able to do a whole lot. I mean, you know, doing some running, you know, doing it on the exercise bike, but can't throw, can't hit. It's going to be a while.
You know, those kind of injuries just said kind of heal when it's ready to heal. It's kind of hard to put a timetable on something like that.
And again, being a catcher, it doesn't help.
Right. It was Thursday afternoon where in that series wrap up against the Cardinals at the plate, so he was really feeling it. His last at bat got him out of there. So Andrew Susac up, and we saw him behind the plate last night. Here's Arcia. He singled to center in the second inning. Brewers now with 6 hits in the game. Step at a time. They're getting traffic out there, just trying to pick up some more runs. They left them at the corners in the third inning. .280 average for Arcia now, with 5 for 10 in that weekend set against the Rays. Alberto Mejia with the 0-2, and that gets by Castro. I don't know if they clipped Arcia or not. They say no, that's just a wild pitch, and moving down to second will be Pena.
I'm able to hop over it, and Pena now in scoring position and eliminates the double play ball. This one not even close. Good job of moving out of the way for Arcia, and Pena gets to second base. You talk about Arcia's offense. I mean, I think it's a lot. It's at this level a lot quicker than I think a lot of the Brewers thought he would be. I mean, very good at the plate and doing the majority of it in number 8 spot, which can be a bit of a challenge for a young hitter, batting in front of the pitcher.
Yeah, he's been just tremendous, and that story rolls on. A base hit to center, stop sign up for Pena, and the first 2 reach here for the Crew in the fourth against Alberto Mejia.
And Pena and Arcia having no problem with Mejia tonight. Both of them 2 for 2. Arcia's got 2 hits with a man in scoring position, and neither one of them have plated a run. It's a bullet into center field. Buxton not playing very deep, and Pena obviously going to be held at third base.
Yeah, in the second inning he dropped one in front of Buxton. Pena had to tap the brakes, advance to third, so it's the same scenario, different inning. Runners at the corners for Keon Broxton. Actually slightly better now. Nobody out. There was 1 out in the second when he laid down the RBI bunt single. We'll see what Keon has in mind this time. Last night we saw the bunt. Tonight we saw this last night.
Hanging slider from Santana. Powerball home run count. Number 15 for Broxton. He would later on double to right center. Starting to swing the bat much better.
That home run traveled 431 feet. So another trip down the gauntlet for Keon Broxton. He is trying to grind through here in the fourth inning. Brewers with a big threat going on. It's Tyler Duffy getting loose in the Twins bullpen. A single from Pena, advanced on a wild pitch, advanced to third on the Arcia single to center. 2-0 the count. One of the things Broxton talking about with Sophia for the game, chasing less. Constant battle.
And particularly trying to lay off that high pitch, that high fastball. That's been a problem pitch for him all season.
And take a look here at Mejia, is looking a little uncomfortable out there on the mound. Athletic trainer will be out there along with manager Paul Molitor. Saw something they didn't like and go ahead and make a move. So the night is done for Alberto Mejia. He will go 3 innings plus and has some sort of discomfort. So we can pick up what's going on.
Man, the high fastball, I'm not sure what it is. Kind of an interesting finish to his delivery with his legs. Calling timeout, and some of his shaking his hand out there. You can just tell something's up with him, and the infield comes in, and that alerts everybody else.
So Molitor will have to go to his bullpen here in the 4th inning. Brewers with a threat going, down by 1 here at Target Field. Out here in the 4th inning, and something is up with Twins starter Alberto Mejia. So Paul Molitor has to go to his bullpen now, and he calls on Tyler Duffy.
You see his numbers, 4.5 earned run average, almost as many strikeouts as innings pitched for him, and 12 walks, 49 punch outs in 50 innings of work. He's allowed the 6 home runs, and 0-3 record. Made his first opening day roster this year, and he's going to get as much time as he needs to get ready. And Duffy last appeared in the game in the last day of July, so it's been a while. Inning and a third, gave up a run.
Get his share of ground balls when he is on, and he's also someone who can give Molitor at least 2 innings. He has done that multiple times, and in fact in April in a outing against the Tigers he gave the Twins 3 innings out of the pen. He was a starter last year for Minnesota. 26 times he started. The numbers were not good. ERA was more than 6. He's working strictly out of the bullpen this year. An early exit for Mejia, 3+, giving up 7 hits, 1 run so far. The 2 runners his responsibility. A walk, he struck out 3.
Yeah, he just didn't really have it tonight, and that's kind of been his pattern this year. He has not pitched all that well at home, and that continued tonight.
Yeah, you're right.
Although he only gave up 1 run.
You're right, though. That ERA, you mentioned it, over 5 here at Target Field. So we'll see if the Brewers can pick up the 2 men aboard, put together a big inning. I know it's been a while, but this is a group that's capable. Remember, for a chunk of the year, the Brewers were top 5 material in runs per game, and even with this real dry spell they're in, they're still middle of the pack runs per game. So we'll see if there's an eruption here going on for the Crew. Keon Broxton at the plate. 2-1 count that Duffy inherits. Close watch on Arcia. Brewers have had the running game going in the past couple of ball games. They lead the National League in steals with 95. A 3-1 count to Broxton. RBI bunt single from Keon in the second.
Yeah, pick a pitch you like and give it a pretty good swing. Yeah, you got to lay off that with this guy. He throws a lot of sinkers, that hard power sinker. I'm going to try and stay out of the ground ball, but it'd be nice to make contact here to maybe drive in a run. You know, at this point, the way the offense has been going, I think that Council would trade a double play for a run at this point.
I think you might be right. 3-2 the count. Arcia holds and Broxton strikes out. One away in the fourth.
And this one a little bit higher than the one before, right on the outside corner.
Here's VR. He grounded into a double play that ended the second inning. See the low average, but he hits considerably better this year from the left side of the plate. And he's going to try to lay one down. And that is a foul ball.
Yep, saying that he was in the box when it hit him. Molitor wants to.
He's not so sure.
Ask about it.
Yep. Lance Barksdale is the home plate umpire tonight.
They're pretty close right there.
Yeah, it is.
That could have gone either way. That back foot was up in the air. Front foot out of the box. Check it out. He's on the move. Hits him right there. Interference not reviewable.
That may be a good thing. A foul ball it is. 0-1 to VR. Brewers' one run here so far has come on a bunt single. That was from Broxton. Pena the runner at third. Arcia at first. Duffy misses inside. 1-1 the count. A chance here for VR. We've mentioned it many times. Try to get things going. Put up big numbers at the plate a year ago. It has been a season-long challenge for him this year. Duffy with a 1-1. And a little tapper. And they'll get a run home. The play is at first. That works. Swing and bunt as Pena is in, and the Brewers have tied the game.
Yeah, it would have been close had Duffy gone to home plate. Remember, that's Pena running. He's the catcher, not a speed demon by any stretch. He gets a sure out at first base, but that would have been interesting if he went home. He gets there quickly. He really never even takes a look. I guess this early in the game, you take the sure out to tie a game, and you go from there.
Brewers will take it. Scratching across a couple of runs here tonight. Arcia at second as the hitter is Domingo Santana, and he shoots one to the gap in right center field. That'll go to the wall. Arcia will jog home. RBI double for Domingo Santana, and it's 3-2 Milwaukee.
Well, you love that. Santana, that's his bread and butter, that right center field gap. He's got a lot of mileage out of that side of the field. Center field around to the right field line. Finds the gap out there. Arcia able to walk home from second base. That was that knuckle curve from Duffy. Left it up in his zone, and he ripped it into the gap. So the Brewers with a 2-run fourth take the lead.
Those runs will be charged to Mejia, so 3+. He gives up 3 runs. Inning continues for Ryan Braun. He tripled an inning ago, but was left stranded there. Three-hit night last night. Very strong career numbers against the Twins. 1-strike pitch.
Well, the outfield extremely deep for Minnesota, especially Buxton in center. Why wouldn't he? Braun's taken him to the wall a couple of times already in this series.
Buxton crashed into the wall trying to run down that deep fly from Braun in the third inning. Actually got there to make the play, but just couldn't get himself turned around enough to be able to hold it in. And he went smack hard into the wall.
Yeah, just to get there and be able to be in a position to make the catch was a pretty good play.
A ball, 2 strikes to Braun. Santana the runner at second. As the DH roll tonight. Beginning tomorrow, we'll see the Twins pitchers hit. And tomorrow, that means Bartolo Colon. Always entertaining. 1-2.
And Bartolo Colon will get an at bat at Miller Park. That's always entertaining.
Yes, it is. Remember last year?
Yeah.
He launched one out of the park in San Diego.
James Shields gave it up.
Yes, he did.
It's a dubious distinction.
Made the highlight shows for a while.
Yeah.
Battle continues. Duffy and Braun. It'll actually be the second time the Brewers have faced Cologne. Saw them when the Braves were in town back in April, late April. Little contrast. Brandon Woodruff will be making his second big league start tomorrow. 2-2.
Yeah, big contrast for the home plate umpire, whoever that might be. One guy topping out at what, 89 maybe?
Yeah, that's about it.
Another 99.
It'll be a fun matchup. Woodruff's big league debut was awfully impressive against the Rays. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Braun. And he's extending the at bat.
Man, think about that call at home plate on that bunt that hit VR. Had that been an out, and it could very well have been an out, could have gone either way. This inning might have taken a lot different turn. Brewers got a break on that call, and they've been able to score a couple of runs.
And looking for more. Ninth pitch of the at bat coming up to Ryan Braun. And Duffy's going to need a 10th. 26-year-old out of Houston, Texas. 5th round draft pick 5 years ago. Played his college ball at Rice University. Pitch at bat here for Braun. Duffy ready with a payoff. Little chopper over the mound, charging Polanco, and Braun is able to leg it out. It gets by Mauer, and here comes Santana. It's a 4-2 ball game.
Yeah, he tried to pick it, he couldn't do it. And good hustle by Santana, really never slowing down around third base. Well, credit Ryan Braun with a base hit. Yeah, pretty good play right there by Polanco, but Mauer not able to pick it. Somebody's going to get an error on that. Probably going to be Polanco for the low throw, allowing Santana to score.
Tough play, but yeah, that was a.
That's a base hit. The throw didn't beat him, but Mauer not able to hold on, so that's going to be an E6, I think.
Definitely a hit and an error.
Can't give Mauer an error on a ball that bounced in front of him.
Here's Shaw, and a fly ball hit back into right field and deep. Kepler going back by the wall, and just enough room to make the catch. Oh, Shaw sent that one a mile high, and it went deep. Park holds it, and the inning is over here for the Brewers, but a good inning it was for the Crew. Domingo Santana, run scoring double, brings Arcia around. Brewers now lead 4-2.
To lead for the Brewers after they score 3 here in the 4th. And our big story in baseball here tonight, it's Giancarlo Stanton. Feels like we're talking about him every night, and why not when he's now homered in 4 straight games. And this one, his 38th home run of the season. That's a new career high for him, a 3-run shot off of Garrett Cole. So certainly Stan having an incredible year. He had hit 37 home runs 3 times in his career, but this one, a new career high for him at 38.
Monster contract, monster numbers. Thank you very much, Sophia. My goodness. Goodness, he is putting up the numbers. Check it out. Aaron Judge, the pace has slowed a little bit there for the rookie sensation Judge, but it's a lot of bombs. There's Robbie Grossman.
Since the All-Star break, Stanton's been going crazy.
My goodness, like every night we're showing a highlight of Stanton going deep.
Sometimes, 2-3 home runs. Yeah, good for him. Brewers see the Marlins in September in Miami.
I thought big story was Trout.
Little trip back to the tropics, huh? There once
Yeah.
already. Just got back from Tampa and then head down to South Florida. Well, next road trip, they'll looking more short term. That's going to be a tough one, a West Coast trip. It's a little bit down the line here. They still have this ball game to finish, and then back to Miller Park. Brewers navigating through a pretty challenging schedule here. A lot of teams they're facing in the thick of it. Took 2 out of 3 from the Rays. They're in it. The Twins are as well, just 2.5 back in the wild card standings. 1-2 pitch to Grossman. Garza struck him out in the first inning. Second year with the Twins after spending 3 with the Astros. Was a Pirates draft pick in 2008. Here's the 1-2. Curveball lifted into center field, shallow. Roxton will handle it for out number 1.
Yep, got ahead of him this time and got him to pop up on the curveball. First time up, he fell behind 3-1. Should say that was Kepler, my mistake. Once again, the curveball has been a pretty good pitch for Garza tonight. Good pitch for him last time out against St. Louis.
Garza looking for a win number 6 this season. He faces Eddie Rosario. Was the Twin who scored the winning run last night. Scoring on the balk. The 1-0. In the air to center field. Broxton can only watch it. That is out of here to center field for Eddie Rosario, and it's a 1-run game.
He's hurting the Brewers in this series for sure. And check out the pitch. Pena wants it away. Look where it ends up, right down the middle. And dead center hits one out of here. Back-to-back innings, Garza's allowed home runs.
2-run shot from Kepler, and now the solo blast from Rosario. It was Buxton. And he offered. Trying to check on the slider, but unable to. 0-1. A 4-3 game. The Twins with the home run power. Brewers scoring their 4 without the long ball yet.
And they've had a couple of near misses tonight. Aguilar and Shaw nearly hit one out. And the top of this inning.
0-2 to Buxton.
But what do you get for those, right?
Not much.
You don't get anything.
The loud outs. Boy, Shaw's was a towering fly ball.
Yeah, there's a little overhang out there in right. Thought maybe I had a chance to just drop in there. Where those flowers are out in right field.
That's where Kepler drove his home run. That was a rocket. There it is.
Yeah, drop it in the flowers.
Like backyard baseball growing up.
What are they, begonias?
Yeah. Sounds good to me. You could be the plant expert. Lawn and garden.
The horticulturist. I don't know what they are.
Into the little garden.
It's the only thing I could think of.
Works for me.
It might be, actually. You have a garden at the house?
You are a wealth of knowledge. Now, if you potted plants, it's about
well,
it.
That's what I have, too. But,
I
every now and again I have to water them. But they need water, You
got a guy to take care of that?
No, me.
No? You do it? Really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Well, when I'm home, which isn't often.
Two balls, two strikes. Well, after some deep research, Rock, you are correct about the flowers.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
See?
Yeah. Highly valued research crew quickly all over that. Battle continues. Garza versus Buxton. That ready with a 2-2. And that's a liner into center, and that's going to be a base hit in front of Broxton.
That right off the end of the bat. And now the race is on. You got to figure Buxton's going to try and steal a base. It's going to be important for Garza to hold him close. Give Pena with the big arm a chance to throw him out.
Which has only happened to Buxton one time this season. 18 steals in 19 attempts. Pena is very good if he has a window of opportunity. He puts that strong arm to work. He's nabbed his fair share. 35% in fact. Here we go. Castro at the plate. Buxton holding. A pitch away.
You don't want to worry too much about the runner at first base and try to be real quick, make a mistake with a pitch and end up costing you another home run. Do your best to hold him close, but #1 priority is to make good pitches here. Garza really tried to quicken his delivery on that first pitch.
Yeah, ideally, he can get a ground ball here. Chance to turn 2 with the catcher at the plate. Buxton reached a couple times last night. Had a base hit and a walk. Singled here in the 4th. And a 1-1 count to Jason Castro. Grounded to Shaw in the 2nd inning.
Good guy to double up, doesn't run well. Get that 2-seamer down, see if he's going to hit it at somebody.
Lightning fast, Byron Buxton.
Not a really big lead. I guess it's that Billy Hamilton theory. I don't need a big lead. I don't want to get picked off. I'm fast enough to steal it without the big lead.
Yeah, guys who run like that, they don't need to get off the bag as much as some other base runners. Ball a strike to Castro. Been on a little bit of a double surge of late as Castro has 13 hits. 7 of them have gone for doubles. Garza ahead, a ball, 2 strikes. Rosario is homered in this inning. Buxton followed with a single to center. Here's the 1-2. Buxton's running. Pitch is taken, and the throw down. No chance.
Yeah, just didn't have a good pitch to throw on. Down and away. Did the best he could. 1-2 count, an ideal pitch out count, but the Brewers elected not to do it. That is a tough pitch to throw on right there. You got to square yourself up. Takes you a while, and everything has to work perfectly to throw at a guy like him.
Buxton at second with one out. A 2-2 count to Jason Castro. 19 steals and 20 tries for Byron Buxton. Blocked by Pena. This is where it could get interesting here. Pena is so good at picking off runners at second. Main thing here is try to take care of Castro, of course.
Yeah, because Vieira doesn't have to go too far to cover the bag out there at second. He's pretty much right up the middle.
I've seen Orlando play a lot of games with runners drifting off the bag, dancing around, and between that and Pena's arm behind the plate, runners have found out the hard way how good Pena is at picking runners. Payoff pitch to Castro, and Garza loses him. This with a curve. Runners at first and second here in the fourth.
Yeah, got ahead in the count 1-2, lost them. Got the part of that thing at second base with Buxton. Left-handed batter up there. Travis Shaw has a long way to go to cover the bag on a throw from Pena. Tough to throw that guy out. But when you're a moving target for Pena, going to third makes it even more difficult.
Twins bounce back here. Brewers put 3 on the board at the top of this inning. A run across already for Minnesota. Buxton the runner at second. Jason Castro at first. Here's Jorge Polanco. Brewers trying to get this guy out. A major struggle here so far in this series.
Yeah, 5 for 5, and everything's been hit pretty hard. You're not talking about a bunch of jam shots or line drives.
Single was to right field. That average low, but climbing. Terrible month of July, but off to a good start in August. 1-0 the count. And there's the pick attempt at second, and getting back is Buxton. It could be fun to watch. You've got a great arm there and great speed out at second.
Yeah, see the secondary lead, and Buxton able to get back. Lead one more crow hop. I think they might have been able to get him.
Two balls, no strikes to Jorge Polanco. Single in the third inning extends his hitting streak to 6 games. 3-0 the count. Back to the grind here for Matt Garza. Finds the strike zone there. And that last outing against the Cardinals, Garza went 5 2/3. About 4 hits, a run. Mentioned to the reporters after the game he really didn't have his A material, but was just able to fight through it and give his team a chance to win, which they did. 2-1. Help from the bullpen. And now he has walked the bases loaded. After a Buxton single, back-to-back walks, Castro and Polanco, and they're loaded for the top of the order.
He just doesn't have the command with a fastball. Yeah, all over over the place, missing inside, outside, up and down, and his success getting ahead on the corners with the fastball and then using those two breaking pitches effectively.
Jeremy Jeffress up and throwing in the bullpen. It's still early in this game, but not a small moment here. Brewers are showing some signs of life offensively, but the Twins are threatening for a really big inning. Only one out, and the bases are loaded.
Yeah, be careful first pitch with this guy. Even after a 4-pitch walk.
Here we go. Singled, reached on an error. And there's a fly ball hit back deep into right field, and it's a grand slam for Brian Dozier.
Well, tried to get ahead with a fastball after the 4-pitch walk. Back-to-back walks. Dead red first pitch fastball hitter, and Garza gave one to hit, knocked it out of here. That's not going to get it done, that location. Dozier opposite field, way back out there.
Max Kepler at the plate. A 5-run inning for the Twins. Solo homer and then a slam from Dozier. It's interesting, his first career grand slam. He's now an annual 20 home run hitter, 20 plus, had 42 bombs last year. Kepler opened the scoring in the third with a 2-run shot. Now, this Brewers starting rotation has been good throughout the season, really, for the most part. It's been exceptional the last 10 games, a 5-2 record, a 2.28 ERA. Mentioned there's just no way that the starting rotation can continue with those kind of numbers. Just not realistic. Kepler turns on one, and that's his second homer of the night as the Twins go back to back in the fourth.
Guy's got a lot of power. After a bunt attempt, it looked like he was looking to bunt. A big fly. That is a.
Craig Counsell has no choice but to go to the bullpen.
Yep, slide it right down the middle. All about location or lack thereof for Garza in this inning. And see you later.
We will see Jeremy Jeffress as the Twins are pounding away here in the fourth. retired. 6 straight Twins have reached 3 on homers, including a grand slam. So the night ends for Matt Garza after 3 1/3. 8 runs, like number of hits for Garza tonight, as he has to make way for Jeremy Jeffress.
Jeremy Jeffress has to lose very quickly. And a couple of home runs, he's in the game. Saw Jeremy last night, faced one batter, retired the only batter that he faced. Was reacquired by the Brewers back on July 31st from the Texas Rangers.
He gets the assignment of facing Miguel Sano. Bobby Grossman began the inning with a fly ball to center, and from there it went all downhill for the Brewers. Solo homer from Rosario, single from Buxton, back-to-back walks to Castro and Polanco, and then Ryan Dozier jumping on Garza, goes opposite field for a slam, and Kepler followed with a home run. As Sano strikes out for the 3rd time tonight. 2 away in the 4th.
Yeah, he's showing some rust, although he does strike out a lot anyway. It's about 150 for him now.
All right.
He does have the home runs to back it up. There's that good breaking pitch from Jeffress, and Sano for the 3rd time over the top.
Two men out for Joe Mauer. He ended the 3rd inning with a fly ball to left. So again, Craig Counsell has to go to his bullpen early. In fact, even earlier tonight. Last night, Brent Suter went 4. Counsell had to turn to, in order, Josh Hader, Jeremy Jeffress for 1 hitter, and then Oliver Drake and Carlos Torres. 2-0 to Mauer. So 3 1/3 for Garza. And 4 home runs allowed. The 2-0. There at 96 to make that 97 from Jeffress.
Yeah, he's got a little movement on it. He changed that arm angle a couple of years ago and really made things a lot different for him. Yeah, the split change, the curveball, and he's got that tailing fastball that he uses with the big velocity, 96, 97.
Yeah, he was money in the closer's role last year with the Crew. Open for him coming back here, more comfortable surroundings, and he can return to form. The role is different, but still can be an important member of this Brewers bullpen. Three and 1 to Joe Mauer. There's a walk. This long inning gets a little bit longer. Man to the plates here in this 4th inning for Minnesota. Jeffress will work against Robbie Grossman. He started this inning with a fly ball to Broxton. Six runs across here for the Twins.
Jeffress not able to locate that fastball. It's moving pretty nicely, but it's moving so much it's going out of the strike zone. Maybe too much tail on it.
The 1-0.
Good adjustment by Pena, setting up on the inner half. That's one thing a catcher can do for you. You keep missing in the same spot, adjust the target. That's what he did, and he got a strike.
1-1 to the DH. Those starters out of the game already. Mejia 3+, Garza 3 1/3. 2 balls, 1 strike to Robbie Grossman. This Twins team is hanging in there. They had that tailspin at the same time the Royals and Indians got hot. Both of those clubs running off 9 straight wins. It seemed like it may have changed some plans. The Twins went into more of selling mode. Had a tough West Coast trip recently, and yet here they are. There's a couple games below 500, but in still the chase in the wild card race. 3-1 pitch, bouncing ball, gobbled up by Aguilar, and finally this inning comes to an end. The Twins get the bats going in a big way, highlighted by a Brian Dozier slam. Kepler's gone deep twice. 4-run lead for Minnesota.
As we head to the 5th, our minor league scouting report brought to you by UW Whitewater Athletics. How about Brett Phillips, what he has done since returning to Colorado Springs on July 28th? A .444 average, 16 hits for him, 3 doubles, 3 RBIs as well. He has 6 multi-hit games in that span. He's riding a 7-game hitting streak, and he's been even better since then. He's got a .500 average during that streak, and just continues to impress. So kudos to Brett Phillips, who said he was going to go down and get his work done at AAA, and he's done just that.
Yeah, it's a great point, Sophia. And you think of him, you think of Lewis Brinson. Maybe they understand the drill rocks and their stays up here may not be very long, but when you get a taste of it, it's got to be tough to go back down. And both of those guys have really responded well.
Right, and you know, Phillips, before he got sent down, was really starting to swing the bat well.
He really was.
And he's starting to drive the baseball, hitting some home runs, and yeah, there's a lot to be excited about down in the minor leagues. I mean, they're not far away.
I know you guys have talked about it, you and BA, and you know everybody here with Phillips as Jesus Aguilar leads off in the 5th for the Brewers. You know, we all got to know Brett Phillips or got familiar with him because of the laugh, and it breaks you up the first few times you see it, maybe more than a few times when you see it, but it's going to be known for more than that.
Yeah,
he's a rocket arm and just does a lot of good things.
Yeah, that laugh is not much anymore to anybody, but that bat has certainly been impressive. Throwing arm, tremendous. Yeah, we're going to be seeing a lot of him, I would imagine.
Might have ourselves a slugfest tonight. Tyler Duffy, his 2nd inning of work, 2-2 the count to Jesus Aguilar. A wave and a miss there for out number 1. Brewers scored 3 times in the top of the 4th.
Yeah, pretty good breaking pitch right there, getting Aguilar. And the two-seamer, the curveball, basically a 2-pitch pitcher, and Jesus blows up his bat.
Yeah, he's seen enough. Find a bat with some more hits in it. Here's Hernan Perez. And the Brewers with that 3 spot of the 4th led 4-2, but then the Twins answered emphatically with a 6-run bottom of the 4th. 2 solo homers and a grand slam. A ball, a strike to Perez. Mentioned Duffy getting the work now. Alberto Mejia went just 3+, but the word on him, he left the game tonight with left lateral upper arm pain. The official word from the Twins. There's a bouncing ball to Polanco. 2 up, 2 down.
Not exactly sure what that means.
I was
or where it hurts.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a
it
lat
covers
muscle.
a fair amount of area there. The lat, upper arm, but that's
Yeah.
the official wording. Left lateral upper arm pain.
Yeah.
Can't say I'm very familiar with all of that being put together in one sentence.
I'm gonna have to ask Josh Seligman after the game what that is.
I'm only the messenger.
Too fancy.
So,
I mean,
know,
you know,
it's really involved.
they come up with all that. Nobody knows what it means.
My arm hurts.
All right.
There's Manny Pena. Not at the plate so far here for the Brewers catcher.
There's Josh.
Here you are, the strength coach.
He knows what that is. Maybe I should text him.
Think he'd answer you?
No.
I don't either.
I have been getting a lot of texts about my begonia call out in right field.
Pretty impressed with
Yeah,
you? Are you?
yeah.
You're feeling pretty good about yourself with that, aren't
No,
you?
I'm not actually. I mean, you got lucky. You don't want to hear some of the things that are being said.
I think maybe I do between commercial breaks. Swing and a miss for Pena. Bottom of the 5th we go. There's Bill's Garden.
Time now for our unlimited baseball break, brought to you by T-Mobile. Some pitching news around the big leagues. Felix Hernandez has been diagnosed with bursitis in his right shoulder. He is expected to miss 3 to 4 weeks. The Mariners had already placed their all-star ace on the disabled list. He's got a 5-4 record on the season. And Corey Kluber was fantastic tonight against the Rockies. A complete game for him. Gave up just 1 run, 3 hits, 11 strikeouts for him. He now has that in 5 straight games this season. And umpire Joe West reportedly suspended 3 games for calling Adrian Beltre the biggest complainer in the game. So bad news there for Joe West.
Thank you very much, Sophia.
Wow.
How things have turned since Nelson Cruz had his photo taken with Country Joe West during the All-Star game, right? Yadier Molina helping him out. Got a little salty. You're contemplating there. You have a thought.
Yeah, well, no, I'm just. Nah, I'm not going to.
Nah, never mind.
You know, no. Move on.
Not going there.
No.
Hey, the injury to King Felix, that could be huge there. You got the Mariners, they're game out in the wild card race.
Yep.
There's Rosario. There's a deep one to right field and a long one to right field. And then a home run derby as Rosario goes downtown for the second time tonight. Goodness.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, this is a team that doesn't hit a whole lot of home runs. A couple of guys, but that fastball down the middle. Rosario with his second home run. First one into center field. This one 95 middle in, and I tell you, these Minnesota Twins feeling pretty comfortable in that batter's box right now. They're putting together some pretty good swings.
5 home runs tonight. There's Byron Buxton. Ground ball over to Travis Shaw. Out number 1. Twins next to last in home runs in the American League.
You take away, you know, Sano and Dozier, and there's not a whole lot going on with the long ball, but yeah, they have tonight.
Going into the game, only the Red Sox have hit fewer. The Twins getting a little distance on Boston in that category. There's Jason Castro. Ground ball to third, also a walk. In the 4th inning. Back-to-back walks given up by Garza before Dozier's grand slam. Three solo shots, a 2-run homer, and then the slam from that guy, the second baseman Brian Dozier.
Good first pitch. He is what they call an ambusher of fastballs. You throw it down the middle first pitch, he's not one of those guys that are going to take it.
Yeah, you mentioned it right before the at bat. Watch out with this guy. He'll attack you right away. First pitch, and guess what?
Yeah.
A lot of talk in the offseason. Speculation that Twins might move him. There'd be more than a little bit of interest in his services.
Plays pretty good defense, has big time power for a second baseman. A veteran guy that knows how to play the game. Kind of a throwback.
Yeah, he is. He's putting together Another pretty good season at the plate. Average is modest, but run production on a decent pace. There's a walk to Castro. 1 out, 1 on here in the 5th.
Hey, good time for tonight's time of the game winner. It's Bob's Country Bar in Niagara. They call the Brewers by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. They get 40 tickets to a Friday night game in the Miller Lite beer pen. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
Bob's Country Bar.
My kind of place.
Your 2 favorite kinds of music.
2?
Country and Western.
I don't like it when you call it Western anymore.
No, it's country now.
It's country.
Yeah, it's country. Brewers still trying to get Polanco out. 5 hits in the series. Walked in the 4th.
Yeah, 8 and 9 hitters. We keep talking about it, but Brewers have only been able to tie the 8 and 9 hitters 1 time so far in 2 games.
Yeah, you're right. There was Castro in the 2nd inning tonight. He's reached twice on walks. 1-1 pitch to Polanco. Twins have to think that if they can find a way to get his bat going, and the signs are that that's in progress, that this Minnesota outfit is far from done here this season. It can keep the pressure on other teams in the wild card chase. I mentioned it last night, when a team is in the mix and you go into sell mode, what the clubhouse will be like, and does it deflate them? Do they get angry? It's hard to measure intangibles, but the credit, at least to this point, of the Twins team, they've responded pretty favorably here.
Yeah. Had to be a shock to them to see those trades come down, and we were talking about that yesterday. Sometimes that can really set them back.
And that's hit well, center field, long run, Broxton, and he runs it down at the track. Oh, there is some serious ground being covered by the center fielders in this series.
Yeah, finally gets Polanco out, but it took a nice catch by Keon, running it down out in center field. Well, this guy's swinging a bat. He is barreling up everything in this series. Right on the warning track, he hauls it in. He makes those catches look easy. He gets such a good jump.
2 men out of the 5th. And here is Dozier. Two hits, the last one a huge one, the grand slam. Here it was off Matt Garza.
Yep, up out over the plate. He goes right with it, way back and right. Turn this game on its ear.
Jeffress ahead of the count. Curveball, 2 strikes and nothing. Jason Castro, the runner at first. Rosario has homered in this inning, his 2nd long ball of the night. 0-2 pitch. Huge for this ball club if they could get good outings on a regular basis when Jeffress is called upon. Converted all but one of his save chances last year as a closer. This one will skip by Pena. And now moving on to second is Castro.
Yeah, that's that split change. He came up with that last year. He started to get some pretty good mileage out of it. Spikes that one in the dirt. I thing that made Jeffers so tough last year, I mean, he had the fastball for sure. He had that good tail in his fastball, but curveball was really consistent, you know, as a closer. He was able to throw that pitch early in the counts, a lot like Knebel. He has been fighting that pitch this year.
The 2-2. And Dozier sends one back up the middle, a base hit. Castro rounding third. Here's the throw from Broxton. Not in time. Dozier down to second, and he is out at second. Pena to Arcia to erase Dozier, but he gets himself an RBI single. And a couple of more runs here for the Twins in the fifth. They are battering Brewers pitchers here tonight. A couple of more runs in the inning. And we'll see if Molitor wants to challenge this.
Yeah, not sure that the call was correct out at second base. They're going to let it ride. They're not going to challenge it. 2 runs in.
So it will be out at second for Dozier, but he gets an RBI single, and the Twins with 10 runs on the board through 5. Baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer. Twins have their home run bats going tonight here at Target Field. They've gone deep 5 times, leading 10-4 as we move to the 6th. Fox Sports Support's proud to team up with Girls on the Run and their dedication to empowering young girls and instilling confidence through running. Learn more about how you can get involved this fall and visit foxsportsupports.com. Paul Molitor getting a couple innings work out of Tyler Duffy, and now he turns it over to Dylan G, former New York Met.
Had some good seasons with the Mets as a starting pitcher. 6th appearance for him, .338 the earned run average.
We face the 7, 8, and 9 hitters, beginning with Orlando Arcia. Let's check out Arcia's night at the plate, presented by Wendy's. A good one so far. A couple of singles to center. Scored his run in the 4th inning. And he bloops one into right field. Got a chance to drop. Diving as Mauer can't get it. Fair ball. And another single for Arcia.
Yeah, pretty good effort by Mauer, but you know, it's a good leadoff single for Arcia. Get something going here. Yeah, the Brewers are due to unload on somebody. Maybe it's going to be Dylan G, and he drops this one in no man's land. About a foot in fair territory, and there's a good start. Mauer not the fleetest of foot, but that was a pretty good effort.
He did lay out. So a 3 for 3 nights for Orlando Arcia. Here is Keon Broxton. RBI bunt single from Broxton in the second inning. The Twins have been slugging away. The Brewers with the 4 runs haven't gone deep yet. So they can start moving the line here. A long way to go. Just the top of the 6th inning. Ball a strike to Broxton. Big cut from Keon.
Yeah, crazy scoreboard. You know, both teams with 10 hits. Brewers down by 6.
Yeah, how about that?
They haven't hit the long ball tonight.
Put it in some perspective. In the last 10 games, we've talked about it, the Brewers have split those 10 games. They have outscored the opposition 24-22. That's over 10 games.
Right.
A ball, 2 strikes to Broxton. Dylan G on the mound for Minnesota. The breaking ball is swung on and missed. On with the curve for out number 1. G's time with the Mets. He was actually their opening day starter 3 years ago.
And made an appearance on the 3rd against the Rangers, his old team actually. Twins signed him on June 22nd. They've been up and down a couple of times with the Twins.
And he signed with the Rangers as the season was beginning back in April. With the Royals last year. Had 14 starts out of his 33 appearances with Kansas City a year ago. Want to know the count to Jonathan Villar. And Villar pops this one up. Miguel Sano will call for it. 2 outs.
Hey, come out to Miller Park this Sunday, August 13th, to see the Brewers take on the Reds. Plus, get your hands on the one-of-a-kind Bob Uecker 8-ball, given to all fans courtesy of 620 WTMJ. Reserve your spot today at Brewers.com. It'd be good to see the 8-ball. It'd be good to see Ueck back on the homestand. He'll be back tomorrow.
He will be ready to go.
And we miss him on the road. I'm sure he's watching.
Some of the best advice I got when you go on the road, make sure you're on the 4 o'clock bus. You're on there with Ueck.
Yeah.
That's when you root for a longer commute. It's in the story mode. Has us all laughing.
Yeah.
Santana, a couple of hits tonight. In the leadoff spot. RBI double in the 4th inning. Greg Counsell trying a variety of options at the top of the order.
What a difference a year makes, right? I mean, VR is so good in that leadoff spot. We just haven't been able to find a consistent leadoff hitter. Sogard was getting it done for a while. And then he went on the disabled list. He just can't find it again. Santana, Thames, Sogard, VR. Laundry list of guys, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's been a shame with Sogard. I mean, the numbers were ridiculously good for him. And then the injury, and things have changed, at least for now. Those early days when Sogard was called up, he was not just hitting, but showing pop. The 3 home runs, that's really, it's nothing you expect. He hit those pretty quickly as a Brewer. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Santana. And G strikes him out. Couple of punch outs for Dylan G. Here in the 6th innings, the Brewers do nothing after a leadoff single. It remains a 10-4 lead for the Twins.
I really focused on enjoying that I was able to experience it, however long it was going to go. And you combine it with the fact that it ran from, you know, I don't know, it was late in the season and we were still in games of consequence to our goal of making the postseason. So it made it easy to try to win. To separate the streak from winning was pretty easy for me.
Boy, hard to believe that was 30 years ago, that 39-game hitting streak for the Brewers from Paul Molitor. Chance to hear his comments on that as we move to the bottom of the 6th. Max Kepler leading off. And I think the fact, Rock, I mean, you guys were all part of this. You lived it, that he was able to embrace it. I mean, you know, the media attention and all that, even before Twitter,
yeah, right.
All that. He just seemed like he rolled with it so well.
You know what he did? He handled it beautifully. And, you know, as the streak went on, I mean, we'd go into a city and he would have a press conference in the dugout before the first game of every series. And he would get all that out of the way. And there was a lot of pressure on him. I mean, you're talking about a big time hitting streak and starting to climb the ladder. And as much as he enjoyed it, you only can imagine how much we had fun with that. Remember Dan Plesac, the beat goes on. I mean, t-shirts and signs at Millerhead County Stadium. He did a lot of different ways. First at bat, last at bat, did with home runs his last at bat. And man, amazing. Look at the names on that list up there in the old light scoreboard at County Stadium.
Oh yeah,
that was fun. Team streak. And Paul Molitor, 39-game hitting streak.
He was on deck, waiting to see if there'd be a final opportunity to extend it to 40, but Rick Manning with a walk-off knock.
First guy ever to get a walk-off at home and get booed.
I'm thinking still the one and only.
Yeah, right? At home, right? Yeah. But Paulie, the first guy over there to congratulate him. And it's funny because, you know, Molitor was on the disabled list a long time with a hamstring injury. After the All-Star break, he came off the DL and started his hitting streak. Now consider how many games he had missed.
Yeah, that's the thing that really, in all honesty, only you guys can fully appreciate who were at that level.
Right.
That's hard enough to do that if you're playing high school ball. But to be down for any length of time like he was, and it's like you're rolling out of bed, you're going to get a couple of hits.
Flip a switch.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the kind of hitter he was. He and Robin, I tell you, I always talk about, you know, some of the greatest things that happened in my career, just watching those guys play every single day, and the commitment and how hard they worked and always hustling. And I always say, you know, if Paul Molitor and Robin Yount can run out a ground ball, So can you.
That's right. That doesn't require talent.
Right.
But I think you guys I've heard you guys talk in the past too. You and others, your former teammates, about watching guys like Molitor or Yount take BP and how they approach that.
Right.
And it's the stuff that not a lot of people are around. That the ballpark isn't full, but it's that important work. And there's a reason why those guys have thousands and thousands of hits between them.
I mean, there's a lot of talented guys, but you need to put in the work to become Hall of Famers. And that's what they will tell you, that it wasn't easy. A lot of work. Those guys be out for early BP on a regular basis. Along with us scrubs, we'd be out there getting our hacks. Frank Harrell would be throwing his BP. There would be Robin out there taking hacks. And even if they weren't hitting, they'd be out there shagging.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, it's cliche no matter the sport, but they say oftentimes that the best players are the also among the hardest workers, right?
There's a reason for it.
Yeah. Full count to Max Kepler.
When your superstars, the best players on your team are the hardest working guys, I mean, that's a trickle-down effect to everybody else. Yep.
Yeah, you think if you're whatever level of talent you are. I mean, if you're in the big leagues, you're among the best in the world. But if you're that guy who's only going to get X number of at-bats a week, you see guys like Molitor and Yount say, well, if they're doing it, maybe I ought to try that path.
Yeah, you think? Guys weren't afraid to, tell you what you should be doing too. I mean, they were leaders. They were guys that weren't afraid if they felt like you, weren't holding up your end. They'd say it in a very, they wouldn't embarrass anybody, but they'd take you aside and have a chat with you. Two of the greatest of all time, Paul Molitor, Robin Yount. Very fortunate in Milwaukee to have those two guys play for so long. In Milwaukee.
Boy, no kidding. Long at bat here for Kepler, and he works a walk, and it's an 11 pitch at bat. Kepler draws the walk, and let's get a little bit more on the Twins manager as we check in with Sophia.
Yeah, well, Paul Molitor and Craig Counsell have a friendship that goes back to when Molitor was playing with the Brewers, and Craig Counsell was a young kid whose father, John, worked for the Brewers, and he got to hang out on the field at the clubhouse at County Stadium with so many of those legends, and now they're both managing their hometown team. So we had a conversation with the two managers. It will air here on Fox Sports Wisconsin tomorrow night. Hear more about their friendship and their history. That'll be 6:30 tomorrow night on Brewers Live.
That's a great conversation, too. You want to be sure to tune in. Pitching change here at Target Field. Craig Counsell removing Jeremy Jeffress. Torres is on. The Twins leading 10-4.
lead for the Twins. And this season, the Brewers and Meyer want to honor the real heroes of our community. Each month, one outstanding individual will be recognized as the Brewers Community Achiever, presented by Meyer. Achievers will receive 4 Brewers tickets, on-field acknowledgement, and the opportunity to throw out a ceremonial first pitch. If you know someone that you would like to nominate who has contributed to your neighborhood in an extraordinary way, you can nominate them by visiting brewers.com/community, or you can pick up a nomination form the next time that you're at Miller Park at the guest relations booth.
All right, Sophia, thank you very much. Pitching change here in the 6th after Jeffress walks. Max Kepler, and now Carlos Torres is on.
Yeah, he pitched yesterday, retired all 4 batters that he faced, inning in 3rd. His numbers overall have been pretty good.
Sano first pitch swing, and that scoots under the glove of Arcia. And a base hit for Miguel Sano. Struck out his first 3 times tonight, but good contact there.
Yeah, cut fastball that didn't do much. Out into center field, and he was pointing into the dugout on his way to first base. Maybe somebody gave him a tip or 2 to stay on the baseball.
Hit number 11 for the Twins. Here's Joe Mauer. Mauer a single, a fly to left, and a walk. You mentioned that he's a St. Paul guy, Cretin-Durham High School. And Strasser Molitor went, right?
Yeah.
Paul Molitor,
Yeah.
also St. Paul
school.
guy,
Yeah.
Cretin-Durham Hall. Final nugget as we talk about that hitting streak with Molitor. Bud Selig in his Hall of Fame speech, a number of people that he wanted to thank, but you mentioned guys like Yount and Molitor, and so instrumental in the growth of the franchise, and how the city of Milwaukee and the state of Wisconsin embraces this team. 1-1 the count to Mauer.
And Molly battled injuries quite a bit toward the end of his career. You can only imagine how many hits he might have gotten. And, had he not missed so much time, hamstring issues kind of got him. Says he's enjoying managing. It's a challenge.
He has kind of been on the roller coaster. They were a competitive team, a few games better than 500. 2015, the wheels fell off almost immediately last year. And the feeling with the Twins franchise, they really, it might sound like something they're supposed to say, but I think it's turning out to be true, at least to this point. They went into this year thinking they were really closer to the 15 version of the Twins than the 2016. Held their own in the early stages of the season, got off to a great start on the road. They won 23 of their first 32 games away from Target Field.
Yeah, they're under 500 at home this year.
Yeah, that's been the tough part. You wouldn't know it here the last couple nights, but they're 26 and 33 at home. Say much the same about the Brewers in the big picture. They've had couple years recently where they've just had bad months of April, but this year they've been hanging in. A long night so far tonight. Mauer with a bouncing ball to VR. There's Arcia for 1 on to first, and that's in time for 6-3 double play. A much needed one, to say the least. Kepler to third.
Yep, he got the cutter under his hands, and that's about as easy as it gets. And the Brewers had a room service double play, they thought, early in the game, but VR threw one away. VR to Arcia to Aguilar this time to complete the Twin killing. The big arm by Arcia gets the out at first.
That is a big arm that Arcia has. Here is Grossman. He has struck out. A fly ball to center and bounced out to Aguilar. Actually made 2 of the 3 outs in that big 6-run 4th inning. Matt Garza started, lasted just 3 1/3. Jeffress an inning and 2/3, and now Torres is on. Second night in a row for both Jeffress and Torres. That's hit into center field, and Broxton has it tracked, and the inning is over. So Twins off the board for the first time since the 2nd inning. It's 10-4 Minnesota.
A showstopper in baseball tonight. It is hard to be more lights out than what Chris Sale has been this season. He recorded his 15th start of 10-plus strikeouts or more, and he did it again against the Tampa Bay Rays. He went 8 innings, no runs allowed, 2 hits, 1 walk, 13 strikeouts for him, and another impressive outing for Chris Sale. This is the 4th time this season that he has recorded 10 strikeouts or more against the Rays. He did it in April, May, and July. Did it 12 strikeouts in each of those starts, so he continues to lead all of baseball with our Rocket Arms, Quicken Loans strikeout leaders. Chris Sale leading the big leagues with 229. Max Scherzer leading the National League with 210.
All right, Sophia, thanks much. Brewers saw Max Scherzer. Here's Ryan Braun seeing Dylan G, and a liner deep to left, and that bangs off the wall. Braun takes the turn, the throw into second, not in time, and that was razor's edge close.
Now Paul Maurer sticking his head out of that dugout. Might want to take a look at it. Pretty good job out there by Rosario playing it off the wall. Ryan Braun continues to swing a hot bat in this series. Had 3 hits yesterday, 3 hits today, and the safe call at second base. Pretty good throw in his second, making it close.
Just does beat the tag, so a triple and a double and a single here for Braun tonight. Here's Travis Shaw looking for his first hit.
And the video of Chris Sale, does it remind you anybody on the Brewers?
Yeah, a certain lefty,
Josh Hader.
Yes,
very
sir.
similar delivery.
Sure is.
Kind of that high 3/4. Slings it in there. If he can come up with a Chris Sale slider, look out.
Yeah, he's in business. I mentioned the Brewers saw Scherzer. They didn't see Sale when the Crew hosted the Red Sox back in May. Yeah, Josh can sling it. No command issues last night, but boy, he has had far more good outings than anything subpar.
Yeah, he had a little down outing. Velocity down a little bit. Wasn't able to command his fastball too well. Gonna have days like that. And the pitching staff is going to have days like today. I mean, they have been carrying this team for now a couple of weeks.
Yeah, we mentioned it. It's hard to imagine the staff would continue with these kind of numbers. And on the flip side, it's just hard to imagine this Brewers offense being held down. Tonight, a run in the second, 3 in the fourth. Leadoff double here for Braun in inning number 7. 2-2 to Shaw.
That comes down to the home run ball. I mean, that's really been the difference, for the Brewers offense as of late. Last 11 games now, including tonight. Home runs down. They have been getting their hits with runners in scoring position, but half of their hits have not scored a run.
Pitch to Shaw. Another payoff will be required for G. And tonight, Arcia with a couple of hits with a runner in scoring position. In both cases, Pena was a runner at second, had to hold up to make sure it would fall. A short fly was able to fall in front of Byron Buxton, and a second was sharply hit out to center. The Brewers, that 3-run fourth, actually led at the time 4-2, and then the Twins exploded. The biggest of the big flies coming from Brian Dozier, the grand slam going opposite field. 3-2 to Travis Shaw. The curve is fouled off. Shaw a strikeout, a fly to left, and then he sent Max Kepler to the wall and right. Towering fly ball that ended the fourth inning. Again the 3-2. And again a foul ball. Aguilar will follow. Couple of thumpers here with an opportunity against G. 10th pitch of the at bat coming up from G to Travis Shaw. And that's hit well, but right to Kepler for out number 1.
And 10-pitch battle and won by G, but Travis hanging right in there and hit it hard, but right at the right fielder. Not much you can do about that.
Here's Aguilar. Ryan Braun led off this inning with a double. Brewers trying to fight their way back into the game, down by 6. Second inning of work for G. 0-1 pitch coming to Aguilar.
He didn't throw very hard, but he's been locating pretty well, especially with the off-speed stuff. And a curveball down in the zone. See if we can hang one here for Jesus and get the Brewers right back in this thing.
2 strikes and nothing. G had a couple pretty good years with the Mets, a 13-win season back in 2011. ERA was up nearly 4.5. A couple years later, 32 starts, 3.62 ERA for the Mets, a 12-11 season, and that work helped him be an opening day starter the following year. Aguilar goes down swinging.
Took a little off, changeup. MLB.TV every night, every device. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live Plus, get a free subscription to At-Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. MLB.tv.
Two outs for Hernan Perez. Feeds him another curve for strike one. Hernan looking for his first hit. Fly ball, a strikeout, and a ground ball to short. Brewers have had their leadoff man on each of the last 2 innings. Did nothing after an Arceus single to lead off the 6th. Braun has led off this inning with a double, but Shaw lined to right. Aguilar a strikeout. A ball, a strike to Perez. Back to the fastball for G.
Yeah, well done on the outside corner. He lulls you to sleep with that off-speed stuff, and then he'll zip that fastball in the corner. Normally, it's effective breaking ball, fastball in, but he's able to catch the outside corner.
Here's the 1-2 curve, grounded to Dozier at second, and Perez busting up the line, but Dozier's throw is in time, and will do it for the Crew in the 7th. So they do nothing with Braun's leadoff double. Stretch time here at Target Field. Twins leading the Brewers 10-4. Brewers. Full moon over Minneapolis. Twins have brought out the grown man bats tonight. 5 home runs for the Twins. They actually had a 6-homer game against the A's earlier this season. Let's check out what's on tap, presented by Miller Lite. This series will move to Miller Park tomorrow. This is a fascinating matchup. The wily veteran Bartolo Colon against the rook Brandon Woodruff. Was terrific against the Rays. We'll get our coverage started tomorrow at 6:30 here on Fox Sports Wisconsin.
Yeah, going to be good to get home. I know the Brewers are going to be excited to get back to Miller Park. Short road trip, only a 5-gamer, but back at home tomorrow.
Jared Hughes now on the mound for the Brewers as we move to the bottom of the 7th. Eddie Rosario, he just continues to swing the bat. Couple of homers and now a single to center field. One of those kind of nights.
Yeah. Well, when Jared leaves that fastball up like that, that's normally what happens. It flattens out, doesn't get the sink, and Rosario squares it up.
Here is Byron Buxton. Single and 3 trips for him tonight. Matt Garza started, went just 3 1/3. Gave up 8 of the 10 runs here for the Twins. Here's a chopper, fair ball. Shaw, high throw, pulled down by Aguilar. Good strong throw by Shaw.
Yeah, good use of the bag right there by Aguilar, getting on top of the bag, making that stretch a little bit easier. Use that bag to your advantage when you can. He's got good footwork, does it this time. See him right on top of that bag, gives you an extra inch or two.
One away here in the 7th inning. Shaw taking advantage of the big target that Aguilar provides. Here's Jason Castro. Castro with a couple of walks tonight. Also grounded to third. Twins with 12 hits in the game. 5 of them have left the yard. There's a bouncing ball, VR, and that's out number 2. Moving to third is Rosario. A few days since Hughes has been on the mound. Back in there, 6 as a matter of fact.
First time he's been out on the mound on the road trip.
Road trip that started well. A couple of wins against the Rays Friday and Saturday night. Lost on a walk-off on Sunday. 1-run setback last night. Guys like this have had a little to do with it. A lot of home runs tonight, but Polanco 4 for 4 last night. Brewers finally retired him for the first time in the series. Here in the 5th inning, he singled walk. A fly ball to the track in center.
Yeah, you would think, Joe Mauer with 1 hit in the series, that things would be going pretty well for the Brewers, wouldn't you?
Yeah, 1 hit from him. Sano didn't play last night. 3 strikeouts.
It's been the bottom of the order, has been the most consistent. I hate to keep harping on it, but that's been the case.
No, it's a fact. 8, 9 hitters have been next to impossible to get out.
And what that does is flips that lineup around. You got the 8, 9 hitters on base. That top of the order comes up, and the more opportunities they get, the better chance they're going to be able to get it done, drive in some runs.
That's exactly what's happened tonight with Dozier. The big night, he's driven in 5. Kepler a couple of home runs. He has knocked in 3. 1-2 pitch to Polanco. It'll be fun tomorrow night. Fans will get a chance to see Brandon Woodruff, and the Miller Park crowd will get a second look this year of Bartolo Colon. 1-2 to the shortstop, Jorge Polanco. This is popped up and out of play. Just a couple rows below us. Don't have the wingspan to go out there and get it.
Kind of a weak effort by the fans out here.
It was.
I mean, nobody even moved.
Just wanted to play it on the bounce.
They must see a lot of them back here, I guess. That's a baseball. Who cares?
Yeah, right. And the 1-2. And that is hit toward the gap in right center field. And Polanco continues to have a big series. Turns second, on his way to third with an RBI triple. Make it an 11-4 game. He had 4 hits in the month of July.
Watch where the pitch is. It was a slider that stayed right in the middle part of the plate, and he hammers it out there into the gap. Well, you know when you're seeing the ball well, like Polanco is, doesn't matter what they're throwing you. Doesn't matter if you're an all-star or a rookie making his first start. You flip the ball up there, guys are going to hit it when they're hot. And unfortunately, the Brewers have caught Polanco red hot.
Yeah, 4 hits in July. He has 6 hits in this series.
Sometimes it's not what you're throwing them, it's when you catch them. Are they hot or are they not? I don't know what he was doing before the Brewers showed up, but this guy's hit everything in this series.
Yeah, he was starting to show some signs. You know, August getting off to a pretty decent start for him, but it's all he could do to buy a hit in the month of July, and June wasn't real good to him either. Dozier last night was 0 for 5, but it's been loud tonight. 3 hits, including a grand slam. This is hit in the air right field, and it's hit deep going over toward the corner. There's Santana running out of room. Gave up a leadoff single to Rosario, then got a couple of ground balls for Buxton and Castro, and then Polanco shot one to the gap against him. The ball, 2 strikes to Dozier. A swing and a miss. Hughes with a strikeout. That'll do it for the Twins in the 7th, but they put yet another run on the board. Polanco a tough out tonight.
Target Field, the Twins have an 11-4 lead as we head to the 8th. Time now for our game break. We head out to AT&T Park in San Francisco, and Buster Posey and the Giants got things going right away off of Jose Quintana. And you check out, this was a 3-run home run by Posey, went up over the wall, and check out the fan. Did he or did he not interfere? Well, this call was reviewed and it was held up as a home run, so Buster Posey helps give the Giants a 3-0 lead. The Giants now lead it 4-0.
All right, Sophia, thanks. So there's some good news here for the Brewers tonight. There you see the separation in the National League Central. Cubs getting a win last night. And then the Brewers loss picked up a game. Manny Pena leading things off, going after the first pitch and lofting one toward Buxton. And there's one away in the 8th. Dylan G staying in there for the Twins. His 3rd inning of work. Alberto Mejia started. Tyler Duffy a couple of innings. Mejia went just 3+. Here's Arcia. 3 singles tonight for Orlando Arcia. Curve curve in there from Dylan G. And the good news with the Brewers coming back home, they have really picked up their play here. They had a split in the last homestand with the Cubs and the Cardinals, but they've been playing a little better here overall at home than they had been in the early stages. Timely homestand here for the Crew.
It'd be nice to get in, settle in before that long West Coast swing you were talking about.
And it'll be a huge one. I guess they all are now, and you get this time of year. Still a long way to go. You got 7 weeks left in this regular season, but 2 with the Twins, 3 with the Reds, and then 2 with the Pirates, and then the big swing, the Rockies, the Giants, and the Dodgers. Giants having a terrible year, but as Sophia gave us the update, off to a good start tonight against the Cubs, and that's strike 3 called to Arcia. Out number 2 in the 8th.
Yeah, those teams are dangerous, right? I mean, got teams like the Giants that have a lot of ability. They really couldn't get much going early in the season, and they're going to have an impact on who gets to the playoffs, I would imagine. They're going to do some damage in and amongst their own division. I'm not sure it's going to matter at this point the way those top 3 teams are playing.
2 outs for Keon Broxton. Take a look at the Powerball home run leaderboard. Eric Thames not in the lineup tonight with 25. Shaw 1 step behind as Broxton lofts one toward the line and right. Kepler will have a play on it. And the Brewers are retired in order in the 8th inning. Bottom of the 8th we go with the Twins up by 7. Bottom of the 8th here at Target Field. And Max Kepler will lead things off. And he's brought the big man bat here tonight. He's had some friends doing the same thing. Our Badger Mutual plays of the game. 2-run homer off Matt Garza opened up the scoring for the Twins. And then he followed the Brian Dozier slam with a solo blast in the 4th.
Yeah, right before that home run, he squared around the bunt. Tried to bunt for a base hit. Didn't do it. Probably glad he didn't. And hit one out.
And the Brewers put 3 on the board in the 4th, and the Twins doubled it. It was a long inning. 72 pitches were required to get through that 4th inning. Second frame here for Jared Hughes. Gave up a run in the 7th. Single from Rosario and a run scoring triple from Jorge Polanco. Three 3-0 the count to Max Kepler. Hughes, third man out of the pen tonight for Craig Counsell. And that goes right through the shift and a base hit. Thirteen hits now for the Twins tonight. One of them from this guy Sano after 3 strikeouts. The Brewers' perspective offensively, it's similar in some ways to last night and similar lately. They jump to early leads in games, but then they get stymied, the rest of the way. We talked a lot about their run scoring in the first. Sharp grounder to Shaw, around the horn chance, Villar to Aguilar, and that's an around the horn double play.
Yeah, the Brewers staked Matt Garza to 2 different leads, 1-0, 4-2. One of those nights for the pitching staff. You're right. I mean, they haven't been able to tack on runs like they were before the All-Star break. One here, one there. Maybe a couple in the 7th to keep the pressure on, but that has been tough to come by lately.
There's Joe Mauer. And the ability to tack on the runs. That was one of the things Counsell was talking about in the media gathering before the game here tonight. And now, the bullpen didn't hold it, the costly balk and all of that cannot be ignored. But the inability, when you get off to a pretty nice start, you get a crooked number early in the game, you have 4 runs early in the game, and you just can't add to it. Mauer with a bouncer to Villar. And Hughes makes quick work here. Leadoff single quickly erased, and then Mauer grounds out to win the 8th. We move to the 9th. 11-4 Twins.
Fox Sports Wisconsin is presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. We move on to the 9th here at Target Field. The Twins have an 11-4 lead. And coming up after the game, you can check out Brewers Live post-game coming up with Jeff Grayson and Jerry Augustine right here from Target Field. And we'll take a look at the Twins. The home run barrage was there tonight. Brian Dozier had his first career grand slam. Max Kepler and Eddie Rosario had a pair of home runs as well. But some bright spots for the Brewers. Orlando Arcia and Ryan Braun continues to swing a hot bat against the Twins. And don't forget, we've got 2 more games coming up between the Brewers and the Twins coming up at Miller Park tomorrow and Thursday.
All right, Sophia, thanks much. Jonathan Villar, first pitch swinging, sends one right back to Dylan G. And just like that, out number 1. Change here for the Twins. Avery Adrianza. It's second now for Minnesota. Night is over, and what a night it has been for Brian Dozier. Driving in 5 tonight. The big grand slam in the 4th. Twins took over the game in that inning.
Yeah, that was the big blow tonight for sure. A 6-run inning for the Twins in the 4th. The Brewers started that inning with a 4-2 lead. Those are gut punches to your offense, you know. They really are. You know, you have a 4-2 lead. You just came back, put up a 3 spot, and right away the Twins come back with 6.
You think you have something going, and you look up, you're down 4. Santana at the leadoff spot here tonight with a couple of hits, also a couple of strikeouts. 1-2 the count. Dylan G knows what it's like to be a starter, so Molitor getting some extended innings here. 4th inning out here for G.
Bullpen saver for Paul Molitor.
Little bloop down the line and right. That's going to drop for Santana, his 3rd hit of the ball game. One out single here in the 9th for Domingo Santana. And here's Ryan Braun. Always want to hang around, even though the score is what it is. Ryan Braun has tripled. He has an infield single, and he has doubled. It sets up an opportunity for the cycle. Hit night last night. He has matched that total here this evening. Oh, and 1 the count. Ron DHing tonight. A 1-strike pitch. Well, G in 4 appearances with the Twins, and just the 4 this year did give up 4 home runs.
Well, when he didn't have good location, doesn't throw hard enough to get away with it. Let's see if he can hang one to Brawny here.
Here's the 1-1. Big cut.
Yep, up and in.
You're talking to yourself a little bit.
This game will do it to you. Some more than others.
Braun with 6 hits in the series. Down to the count of ball 2 strikes. And G strikes him out. Brewers down to their final out. G will try to get it against Travis Shaw. Frustrating night at the plate for Shaw. He had a couple of hits last night, but an 0 for so far this evening. A strikeout, a couple of fly balls, including one to the wall and then a line to right in the 7th inning. And he turns on this and yanks it foul. He's making some contact here. Not deep enough, or in this case, not straight enough. G trying to work the final 4 innings here for the Twins. 1-strike pitch to Shaw. The crowd here tonight, 34,000 plus. Those still around up on their feet. Many of the sections here at Target Field. 2-strike pitch. And that's a rope fair down the line and right. Santana will head to 3rd. Banged off the side wall. It's a single for Shaw, and the Brewers still going here in inning number 9.
Yeah, make him get into that bullpen. I mean, just keep the line moving a little bit. Force the Twins to use another reliever. Maybe it'll have an effect for tomorrow.
And this series will shift to Miller Park. Bartolo Colon, the starter, was talking as though he was going to hang it up. His last outing was a complete game. Who knows? Maybe the Brewers can get to him, get to that pen. Aguilar with the little pop-up. Adrianza will squeeze it, and the Twins take the first 2 games here at Target Field. Now we move on to Miller Park for games 3 and 4. Monster night for the Twins bats, including Brian Dozier. Dylan G working the final 4 innings. Short night for both starters tonight, but the Twins have the bats going in a very loud way and take game 2 here 11-4. Time now for Brewers Live postgame, and we send it over to Jeff Grayson.
All right, thanks a lot, Matt and Rock. Coming up tonight on Brewers Live, presented by Ascension, it's the Twins who go deep in their ballpark. We'll look at the bright spots with Orlando and Ryan, hear from Craig Counsell, and look ahead to 2 at Miller Park.